That's my bad.
Oops.
We should have audio now. Okay. Yeah, I know, right? Forgot to turn on the mixer there, so we should be good. Do you have audio back there? Is it everything looking good? Hello, welcome. It is April 11th. Sorry about the audio at first. I forgot to turn my mixer board on, but I turned everything else on, so hey. Yeah, so April 11th, lots kind of happened in this past week. We'll kind of go over that, kind of do the usual where we will discuss news. We have quite a few things to talk about today, and then we'll open it up and start answering some questions and just chat with you guys, see what's up. Hopefully everybody's doing well, staying safe out there. And I guess without further ado, let's get into the news. So first thing first is there's an update. Yep, people are saying strap in. He's already got his seatbelt on.
I am prepared.
He is ready to go.
Always prepared.
And we got the Supercharger light on. It's right there. So we are good to go. But first thing first is some Tesla pay cuts and furlough. So, yeah.
Yeah, so basically Tesla announced that they are furloughing a lot of their sales and delivery employees, almost 50% of them, and it was based on seniority instead of like performance. So people who had been there, you know, in the last couple of years, people who've just started, they were probably the first ones that received that furlough. The good news is right now those are just furloughs, so they'll be eligible to come back for their job if Tesla is able to hire them back, but that does make them so they'll be eligible for like unemployment benefits and stuff like that.
But the nice thing is it's furloughed and not just let go.
Exactly. So Tesla's hoping to bring them back, and you know, as we already, they're also, I believe, have reduced capacity or reduced employment on the production line, and they're still shut down on production. But they're hoping they'll be able to bring production back up around May 4th. So hopefully, we'll start seeing the Model Y and S and X and 3.
Yeah, because there's a lot of cars. I mean, we have at least one that we're waiting for. But yeah, there's a lot of people waiting for their cars that are kind of like, what's going on? Because they're not really making any right now. So hopefully we can see something good come out of May 4th. But they are actually doing a bunch of factory work still. Well, maybe not a bunch, but they are still doing some improvements to the lines and whatnot. And
we heard too that besides the line improvements, that they're maybe even making some minor tweaks to the Model Y, maybe with that. The tow hitch is one thing we heard about this week, where the Model Y will be getting a tow hitch. There's been questions about that for the last few months, and a lot of people were holding off on committing to their orders. But now the Model Y does have on the order page where you can choose the tow hitch option, and in the United States, it's $1,000 charge to add that.
Yeah, and it does say it holds up to 3,500 pounds, which matches the information we saw on Tasmanian a while back. But as of right now, we don't know if it's going to be able to be retrofit. So we've done some things. I don't know if you saw, did we tweet it out?
Yeah.
Tweeted it and maybe Instagrammed it. We have decided to order another Model Y. Hear me out. It sounds crazy. It kind of is. But we really wanted a white on white. And so we ended up seeing that white interior was delayed. So we got the current one, which is Midnight Silver Metallic. So now we have an order for a white-on-white Performance Y, and we're going to add the tow hitch to that. I just have to call Tesla and get them to do that. And now we also have an order in for a white-on-white all-wheel drive with tow hitch. And I think what we're going to do is just whichever one comes first.
So, and basically, like Eric just mentioned, it's currently available. If you haven't ordered yet, when you're configuring your car, you can add it as an option. Just check the box. It's a $1,000 option. If you've already placed your order, you can contact your sales advisor and see if they can add it for you, because if you've already completed all of the paperwork and stuff online, you might not be able to modify your build yourself. So you'll need to contact somebody to have them add it for you. If your car has already been delivered, those first few thousand that were delivered in the last few weeks, we don't know yet if it's retrofittable. We've reached out. We're waiting to hear back, but I don't think Tesla even knows if it's available. But if it's not, we're pretty sure that not everybody needs it. So we're going to, it'll still go to a good home once we sell it, but we're definitely looking forward to receiving our white one with the tow hitch.
Yeah, because the white on white is what we really wanted, and we really, really wanted the tow hitch. We were hoping it would be retrofittable. But everything we've heard of as now, nobody really knows.
Nobody knows.
It could be, since it's only showing up on the order page, not in the item shop, that it won't be retrofittable. So we just made both our white orders, but we're only going to take delivery of the first one. So whatever shows up first, it's either going to be a performance or an all-wheel drive, and that's what we'll take. Yeah, but we really want that tow hitch. We've been doing a lot of biking, and we really want to be able to go places with those bikes. And I'm not a big fan of putting bikes in the car because bikes get dirty, especially I have a mountain bike. And if I'm on a trail and it's muddy, I don't want to get that in the car.
Plus,
I want it on the back.
Yeah. Plus, it takes room away from if you have multiple people. Then you can't have people in the rear seats. And yes, you can get a roof rack, but I don't really want to put a bike up on the with the glass roof. I don't really trust myself lifting, especially after a rough or a long ride. Don't want to try to lift a bike up there and accidentally chip the roof. So
I completely agree. That scares the crap out of me. So we definitely want it on the back because then also, like, say we do go on a road trip up to the mountains or something and we decide to camp somewhere. Well, if the bikes are in the back, we got to put them outside to camp, and then something could get stolen. It's just much easier if they are in the bike rack because you can actually lock them to that a lot easier. And then you can, like, sleep in the bag. You can do whatever. So we're super excited for the tow hitch. I just hope it's retrofittable, but either way, we have covered our bases.
Yep.
Next up, so we have some updates.
Yeah, it looks like there's a couple updates that Tesla's been pushing out recently. 2020.12.5 is the big one that's been rolling out in the last few days. Looks like about 55% of cars have that so far. And depending on what version of your car, how old your car is, you'll get more or less. But looks like everybody on this latest update is going to get just update to their supercharger indicator, which will show how many out-of-order superchargers are at each location. So if you're driving around, you might see a location that has 12 superchargers, and it might say 8 of them are available, but when you get there, you might find that a couple of them are actually out of order. Now, right in your car, it will indicate that how many of those superchargers are actually out of order. So not a big change, but it's nice to have. Something else.
And we have actually Esco Mir posted it, the release notes on Twitter, so we can actually check those out while David talks about them.
The other thing that's added, that this will only be for, I believe, the MCU2 cars, is the dashcam viewer, and that is a really popular feature. A lot of people have been talking about that. Basically, it allows you to view your Sentry videos and your dashcam videos right in the car. People have been wanting this since dashcam was first released, and it looks like a really slick interface. It's not perfect yet, but it's the first release, and I'm sure they're going to only make it better.
Yeah, and the nice thing with this dashcam viewer is you can actually delete everything from that, but there was a slight bug that was noticed with that. That basically, so if you put your car in valet mode, they still have access to delete that footage.
I had heard about that. It seems that valet mode locks things out. So again, minor bugs. You know, most people don't know about it yet, but hopefully Tesla will
They'll definitely get it fixed on the
fix that integration with valet mode.
Because the way valet mode works now with the dash cam and all that functionality is if you can't turn it on or off with the valet mode but you can still access the dash cam viewer and delete stuff.
Yeah, so it looks like you'll see so they did change the icon. It's no longer the HAL 9000 icon from Space 2001 A Space Odyssey, sorry. But they have a slightly different icon, but it still works the same, and they'll get that fixed here in the coming releases, I'm sure. Then another release another feature that was included in this latest release is just the Cheetah launch mode, which is available for the newer Raven Model S and Model X. Yeah,
and so we kind of talked a little bit about it last week, but Green the Only, he actually found this in some of the early release notes, and actually kind of goes into detail how to actually make it happen. And you just put your foot on the brake, put your foot on the accelerator, and then wait for launch mode enabled message. And once it's there, release the brake and you go. It's super simple. So yeah, I'm really excited to actually try this out. Haven't yet, but hopefully in like the coming weeks. Yeah, a lot of people aren't out right now.
Yeah, and one of the reasons we aren't able to test it out now is because the Model Y has not been receiving this latest 2020.12 update. Currently, the Model Ys are on their own version. It looks like, and we have 2020.5.10.7, which we received early this week. And most of it was just minor bug fixes, but they did also fix that climate control sync bug, which we reported about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and if you didn't see the video, definitely check it out. But basically that bug right here is when you press these little arrows, it should pop up and say sync, but it didn't. But the nice thing is you could just do a voice command, which I think is a huge plus for Tesla. Yes, there might have been a little bug like this, but it wasn't something that stopped use of the car because we could just use a voice command, which I think is actually very clever that they can do that. I don't know if any others can do that. So yeah, super happy to see that's all fixed now, though, if people want to go that route. Next up, we have a 400-mile Model 3 in China.
Yeah, there was some talk about the Model 3 so far in China. The one that they've been building has been like a standard range, and just so they could have limited resources for the batteries, so that they started out building a car that just had the shorter range there in China. Now they are talking about having a longer range, and they've been saying that it might even have a 400-mile range. But there's a caveat is they have a different testing standard for mileage there, so it's possible it's not really going to be 400 miles. When you look at their standard range one they have there, it actually comes out to be about 270 miles, whereas it's only 240 miles for that same car here. So it's probably going to be the same case with the long-range Model 3 in China. Yeah. It might have a slightly, over 300 miles, I'm sure, but I don't think it's really going to be able to hit 400 miles because they've already maxed out on the battery, unless they're going to be using a totally different chemistry.
Well, we've heard that they've actually signed some deals with some Chinese factories to get batteries from them. So maybe there is something new to this.
It's possible.
I think a lot of it's just the difference between the two standards.
Just like in the Model 3 when it's sold in Europe, it has a much higher range than what it is in the United States, just because of the different range where we have EPA.
Yep, exactly. Next up, so we threw a poll up on Twitter. Let me pull that up real quick. But it was basically, you have the funds to buy either a Model X or a Model Y, not both. And which one would you buy and why? I kind of want to talk about it here because there's a lot of interesting response that I really liked. It was a lot of really good conversations on there. Definitely check it out if you haven't. The poll's already closed, though. Or no, wait. I guess there's 1 hour left on the poll. So if you want to take it, go for it. It's on my Twitter. But we got 4,538 votes so far. And 60% are saying Model Y and 40% are saying X. Some people said X for the doors. Some said Y for newer tech. Y because presumably it has improved production methods, wiring systems, fewer parts, better tech, and therefore more likely to be better reliability. Doors. There's a ton of comments on this thing. But anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about my stance because I actually haven't responded to this poll yet. I was going to wait till it actually is finished closing. But over Model X and Model Y, I still think right now, as it stands, Model Y is the better choice. Rationale being, the Model X is a great car. Don't get me wrong. I never had any issues with the doors, the Falcon Wing doors, when we had one. But we only had one for what? 2 months?
It was a little longer.
3 months?
Yeah.
It wasn't very long, and we didn't put a ton of miles on it, but we never experienced any issues with those doors. My leaning towards Model Y is definitely going to be the fewer parts. We've seen Morono's starting taking apart their Model Y. It seems to be a little bit more refined, but also the tech. So Model 3 and Model Y just feel a little bit more superior because they haven't refreshed S and X. Now, when S and X are refreshed, hopefully with the plaid models, we'll see some exterior refresh, some interior refresh, a little bit of everything. I definitely think my opinion might change then.
Yeah, I'm actually going to agree with Eric. I actually did take the poll, and I voted for the Model Y.
Oh, wow.
And we had a Model X. I love the Model X, but to me it seemed too big. If it's just one or two people, you don't need the car the size of the Model X. And also we had the 6-seater. It was great, very comfortable if you had 6 passengers, but we didn't need that all the time. What I was more interested in is the versatility of the cargo, and since we couldn't fold those second row seats flat, the Model Y has that. It's got a ton of cargo room compared to like the Model 3, and so I went with Model Y.
Yeah, and actually, so here's some of the other responses. Dan at What's Inside even said the X is only comfortable family Tesla for a family of 5 or more. Yeah. Really, when you have that many people, I can almost really agree with that. Fortunately for us, it's really 2, 3 people in the car. Sometimes if friends are in the car, it might be 5 for a little while, but it's never like a road trip long.
And also
we're not kids, so we're not get away from me or whatever.
No, the X still does have some benefits. One is that it's able to tow more, and you can get that tow hitch right away instead of having to wait for it. And
the range over the Y.
At a slightly longer range, exactly.
You get the air suspension, which, to be honest, the air suspension is very, very comfy.
Yeah.
You get an overall bigger car. I don't know. I still love the Y. Still love the X. Don't get me wrong. But the Y, as it stands right now, I think is better. I don't know.
Yeah. Again, though, if you need seating for maybe 5, 6, 7, go for the X. But if you have smaller people, the seating for 5 and the Y should be fine for shorter trips.
Oh yeah. I still think the 7-seater in Model Y is not going to be that great.
No. Again, just for
even
kids,
if it's rear facing, kind of like we've seen it might be, I still don't think it's going to be great.
The 6-seater was great, which was what we had, but I just also like the efficiency. The Model X used a lot more energy than the Model S or the Model 3 or the Model Y. So even though it has a bigger battery, you're going to have a penalty just around town for driving to work and stuff. It's going to take more energy than if you're driving a smaller car.
And actually, I'll just read some more of these comments real quick because there's a lot of people hit on some really good things. Earl at Frunk Puppy, hilarious account. He thinks the X is better because the wife wants an X. I love the doors and the windshield. Somebody said, I used to want the X, but now that the Y's out, I can't believe you, why not? 5,000 towing capacity on Model X versus the 35 we saw on Model Y. More spacious 7-seater, power doors, which are actually kind of nice. And bioweapon defense mode. Forgot about that.
Yep.
But you can do some things and kind of add the bioweapon defense mode.
Yeah, the HEPA filters to the Model Y.
Yeah. Exactly. Model Y, newer tech, lower cost, and also the wife prefers normal doors. That's the biggest thing, I think. Yeah. A lot of people are kind of scared of the Falcon Wing doors. Oh, God, there's a spider. Sorry. Jesus, get out of here. Go free somewhere else.
There you go.
Like I said, I've never had problems with the Falcon Wing doors, but some people have, and I understand. I think the biggest thing that we kind of showed in our HomeLink video is you got to be careful when you're moving the car because, on a normal car, you can really see the doors a little easier through your mirrors, your left and right mirror, if they're open. But on the Model X, it's not as easy because they're up so high, and it's easy to hit one of those on the side of your garage bay door. Yeah, and we've seen that so many times.
Yeah, and while the car does have a little alert, if you're just driving, you might not know what that dinging is for. You might think it's for a seatbelt or something else.
And I think if you have Joe mode on, it actually makes those alerts even quieter. So that could be another thing, too, that maybe people just miss them. And I don't want to take off a door. It doesn't sound fun to me. But it was actually kind of interesting to see everyone's look. I don't know. We'll kind of look in chat, but yeah, I definitely think right now is the Y. When we see the refresh X, we'll have to reevaluate. It might change. And then, let's see. Okay, so last thing for news is solar update, because we know you guys love this. So let's just jump right on into it.
Yeah, so we actually set a record, multiple records, 2 days in a row on Monday, and then we hit over 124, I think, kilowatt hours. Yeah. And then on Tuesday, we had our best day ever since we installed the system. We had 131 kilowatt hours. It was almost a perfect day for the sunshine. We charged up all our cars. We only used 59 kilowatt hours that day, but produced 131. So
we killed it that day.
Yeah, if you look at it, we only used 16 kilowatt hours from the grid and sent 84.5 back to the grid. So best day ever for our solar system. Yep. And it's just going to get better. We'll still have clouds some days.
As the days get longer and everything.
But it's just going to get better through June. And then we've had our best week ever too. If you go to the weekly graph, you can see all these days we're hitting over 120, 130, really good sun. We did have some shade there on Friday, so it didn't send quite as much back to the grid, but still had a really good week. And the numbers, let me see here. Yeah, we basically, for the week, we only used 232 kilowatt hours, but we produced 673, and of that we were able to send 459 back to the grid. So we're having a really good month so far.
Oh yeah.
If you look at the monthly graph so far, it's not much longer than the week, but we've done great all but 3 days, and that's when we had snow.
The second was not so great.
Second and third, not the best, but we actually had snow. I cleared off the panels on the third, and you can see it
jumped right up.
And so yeah, it's been a great week, great month for solar so far. And so for the month, we've used exactly 500 kilowatt hours, but we produced over twice that at 1,019 kilowatt hours. So we've sent 639 back to the grid. And basically the way that works with our company, we chose not to get paid back for that, but instead that gets credited towards our account. And so the next month, if we don't produce enough next month, then they will subtract that out and we won't have an electric bill. But since solar should be good for us now through like October, we should basically not have a year an electric bill for maybe the rest of the year. Yeah. So we'll see, maybe sometime November, December, depending how snowy and dark it is, but we're set for almost the rest of the year and no more electric bill.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome. I mean, just looking at this, we sent back 639 and we only took 165 from the grid.
Yeah.
So that's like 4-5 times more.
So it's great. And you know, one thing though is since I'm working from home and now we're not consuming as much as we used to. But when we sized our system, it was so that it would cover as much of our usage as possible, and that included driving 3 Teslas daily. But I haven't really driven my car in like the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, and so we've kind of made it our little thing. We're actually going and supporting local restaurants. Yesterday we went up to Bailey, Colorado to a fun little restaurant, and today we went out to Bojo's. And actually today we just stopped at the Supercharger too and ate at the Supercharger. But yeah, we're trying to support some local businesses and get some charge on at the same time. It actually worked out really well. But yeah, super happy with the solar system. I'd say I can't wait to see how it's going to do this summer, but we can already tell it's going to do freaking amazing.
Yes.
I mean, what do you think our best solar day, our max could be?
I don't know yet, but I'm thinking it might be over 150 because we're already.
I'm hoping 160.
I'm thinking because when I've seen some days when right before solar noon, we're hitting like 65, 70. So that means if the sun stays for the rest of the day, we could double it to 140. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think we might be able to hit 160. Maybe I'm being ambitious, but why not? Real quick, I'm actually saying a chat. Someone said, Excel, how do you change it so they credit your account versus sending you a check? So actually, we had to come up and choose one from the very beginning.
Yeah.
And we couldn't change it. It did say we can't change it once we select something. We chose to do the credit because the credit is basically a 1-to-1, whereas them sending you a check, they give you pennies per kilowatt.
Yeah, it didn't seem as good of a deal, so we just chose that. And we don't want them sending us a check back and then we have to pay them again the next month. So we just take that credit, and whenever we earn that or produce that energy, whether it's in the peak period, off peak, or shoulder, basically they credit that back. So in the afternoon for our power bill, between like 2 p.m. and 6 p.m. is our current peak period. That's when they charge the most. But when we send power back during those times, we earn that. So 1-to-1. So if they charge 20 cents for a kilowatt hour, if we send them a kilowatt hour, they pay us 20 cents or give us that credit of 20 cents.
Yeah, the credit.
So basically, then we use it. Since we have our power walls, all of the power we use, virtually all the power we use from the grid, is at night rates. So we only pay pennies, and we send it back when it costs 20 cents.
Yeah. So it's definitely what worked out best for us, because also we bank it, and then in the winter when there isn't as much solar, we can pull some more off the grid and get that back, kind of more as a 1-to-1 versus getting pennies back and having to pay 20 cents per kilowatt for it when we need it.
Kilowatt hour.
Kilowatt hour.
So we're hoping that since we've expanded our system, that our credits are going to be so much throughout the summer and fall that by the time we get through October and November, we're still going to have those credits paying for our electric bills. Maybe even December if we're lucky.
Yeah.
January, the days are really short. We get a lot of snow. So I'm not thinking our credits will carry over that far, but if they do, that would be great.
Yeah. Either way, we're super excited for it. Diego's asking, how much did we spend total on it? Is it like 55?
Before the tax credits, yes.
Yeah.
For the first system, and then we added the additional 4 kilowatt system.
And that was like 10.
Yeah, so 65, but then we had tax credits, which brought it down to like 40,000 or so. We had some other credits, which brought it down even more. Mm-hmm. So it was not cheap, but basically we will have our electricity paid for about the next 30 years.
Yeah.
Also, since we purchased our system, Tesla's greatly reduced the price of their solar, so it's like 25 to 30% less than what we paid. And for those of you who live in states where you can rent solar, it's like there shouldn't be any decision. They're almost giving it away. It's so cheap. It will cover your costs, and there's no there's no commitment. It's a great deal.
We actually talked about would we have rented versus purchased, and we're actually probably would have rented because there's no time limit on that. So we could have returned it, I say returned, or canceled it in like 5 years and gotten brand new panels.
Which more efficient.
More efficient and everything. So we probably would have gone that route. I'm really glad we purchased it though, because we just don't have to worry about anything. I love not having to just worry about like a bill or anything like that. So it's worked out really, really well. But we'll have a video kind of breaking down everything a little bit more so in the future. But as of right now, solar, 2 thumbs up. Do you get a thumbs up?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, 2. Okay, cool. Let's see. Was that pretty much it?
I think that's it for our update today. So now we can go ahead and question and answer.
Yeah, I think that's basically it. Let's see. A couple people listed what time it is there. Someone said it's 1:24 a.m. in the UK. Someone said it's 2:24 in Norway. Wow. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Really appreciate having you here. Oh, good question, Lee. Lee actually asked, do you have a battery backup system? Yes, we have 4 power walls, which is equal to about what, 40?
It's about over 52 kilowatt hours of battery backup. So each one is a little over 13. And when we first had it installed back in July of 2018, we had 3 power walls put in. But then in September of 2019, we were able to add a 4th power wall. So it really helps out because we can go days without needing to be connected to the grid. And we did a video, I think it was October of last year, where we disconnected from the grid. And even though we were receiving snow and stuff, we were able to totally power the house and the cars and live off of solar for 8 days straight. And we could have gone even longer, but we just decided we've proven our point.
Now, the one caveat though is when we said how much we have spent on solar, we did not pay for the power walls. We had some taxes and everything, but we didn't actually pay for them because they were a referral prize from everyone using our referral code. Thank you guys very much if you are watching this. So those are not taken into account on that total cost. Now, if they were, what are Powerwell's running about now? Like 8K?
I don't know. It depends because then you have to add the gateway and installation and stuff like that. But they do have some package deals, or at least they did have package deals if you add it with solar. And again, since the price has come down on solar so much, I think now you could pretty much add a Powerwall or 2
for our same price?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So that definitely helps people who might have looked at it, the prices in the past. You can probably get the same thing, but with a Powerwall, which is nice because the Powerwalls are really, really helpful. Mark is asking how much do we charge from the grid? So really the only time we charge is normally in the morning because we like our cars to kind of be like preheated.
Pull up like the daily graph that we had there for the best day this week, and you can see that we hardly use anything from the grid typically. So you can see right there we charge from like 2 till 4 a.m. on that day.
And that was one car.
That was one car charging, and then the Powerwall took over later on in the morning and totally charged the other car. Then the suns came up, and then my car was totally charged via solar. And then you can see everything we sent back to the grid down below the line, that was all back to the grid. So
all this gray.
The way we have it, so Tesla has like, you can be backup only mode, or you can have self-powered mode, or you can have like advanced mode. And we chose the advanced mode, but we have it set to balanced. But we actually changed our schedule slightly because we want to be able to be self-powered as much as possible. But with the Tesla self-powered mode for the Powerwalls, you can't program in a time schedule. So we chose the balanced mode, and then we basically extended our part peak and so that it thinks that it's still more expensive until 2 a.m. and that's when it takes over and starts charging from the grid. If we wanted to, we could change those hours even more. We could be 100% and never really take from the grid, but we're taking advantage of
the cheaper rates.
The cheaper rates.
But we also don't want to drain our Powerwalls every time we charge a car.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we have 3 Teslas. Here we have 3. We have a 4th that's out of the country at the moment. But you have 100 kilowatt.
100 kilowatt hour.
And then
S100D.
Scott's is 75.
Yep.
And the Model Y is 74.
Yep.
So, I mean, if we all did a lot of driving, we would drain those Powerwalls real quickly. So we do charge from the grid minimally, but we send more back.
We send more back to the grid, so we offset any of that usage. Also, 100% of what we do use from the grid, we have something called wind source, so that basically we don't get that power directly from wind turbines or wind energy, but it gets reinvested directly into building new wind turbines. So 100% of our bill is either solar powered or wind powered.
Yeah, and so anyone that's on Excel can actually join that, but it is extra.
It's not.
It's not much. I think we pay like $10 a month.
It depends on how much we use.
That's true.
Yeah. So when we are totally generating all of our electricity, we're not really paying anything because we're not taking anything from the grid. But in the winter months is when we would pay it. But the most we've ever paid is probably like $10 or $20 probably.
Yeah. Let's see. Lee said his 4 batteries were $36K. So yeah, $8K a piece basically. Nice. All included, I would assume, like installed and everything, hopefully. The Cool Kid said, are you guys doing well during the pandemic? We are. Hopefully you and your family and everybody watching and all your family are doing well. We're just kind of hanging out. Let's see. Diego, do the solar panels come from the electric company or Tesla?
We actually got the Tesla panels, and we did a video on that back in July and all through July, September, whatever, of 2018. But we have Tesla panels. They came out, installed 3 of the power walls, and like 51 panels all in July of 2018. So we have 325 watt panels, which they were from the Gigafactory 2 up there in Buffalo, so they're US made. And then later on in 2019, we added another 12 325 watt panels. Yeah. And so we have a total of 63 325 watt panels.
We have a lot. Our roof looks beautiful. But that's a nice thing, actually. We did see some other houses when we were going through this and starting to look at everything, and we just weren't happy with how some people installed the solar panels. We're really happy with the way Tesla has like those, what are those, like edge guards along the front and the sides?
Yeah, the skirts or whatever.
The skirts, thank you. And really like that because it just kind of polishes it off and makes it just look more finished rather than just have like a metal guard, which I'm not a huge fan of.
And also they're more flush to the roof. They're a lot closer. And the mounting system they use, I forgot, like whatever mounting system they use, it creates a lot fewer holes in your roof, and it's a lot quicker to install. They don't have to put rails up all across your roof, which what other companies do. When Tesla started doing solar, they saw this system. They actually bought that equipment. They bought that company, I believe, and they are the only ones with that. But basically, they just have to put a couple mounting points, and then they put the corners of the panel in that, and it's a lot fewer holes. So it should be a lot fewer problems in the future.
Paul said we should mine Bitcoin with the extra source of power instead of getting ripped by Excel. Well, I mean, we won't get necessarily ripped because we'll get it back. But we
use a lot of power.
We do use a lot.
Yeah.
But what we are kind of doing with some of the power now, mind you, it's LEDs, so I don't know how much it matters. But we talked last time how we're starting to do like some hydroponics and growing more of our own vegetables and stuff like that. So we just don't have to go out. So like, here's kind of like the base. This is just like the start of it.
We just got started, so you can't see anything yet.
If you look, you can see we got cauliflower, we got some cabbage, we got a bunch of tomatoes, cucumbers, summer squash, broccoli.
So some of these, not all of these will be grown indoors, but we're really starting everything indoors. And then some of them will transplant out to the garden
and
eventually.
Here's like the lettuce and spinach. Those are what we plan on growing indoors. And we're going to try some tomatoes.
And peppers,
and stuff like that. But yeah, so that's going to use some power too. But they are LEDs that we're growing them under, so it's not going to be like that much power. But I don't know. We've never really been concerned about Excel ripping us off. Yeah. I do think, though, if we sold it back to them, we would really get ripped off.
Yeah, it didn't. The numbers didn't seem to make, unless we were misunderstanding, but it didn't make as much sense. But again, we know we're going to use a ton of power by having 3 Teslas that we're charging daily. Mm-hmm. And again, we know that we need as much as we can, and we might have needed to expand our system even again next year, but we really don't have the room on the roof for it anymore.
Yeah. Tesla Forever is asking why our Powerwall is so expensive when it only gives you 13 to 14 kilowatt hours. I mean, that's not a bad question. I honestly don't know what fully goes into making them. I know they have like their own housing and stuff like that.
Yeah, and they each have their own cooling system, and they have fans, and they have processors and stuff. And then you have to have a gateway, and they also redo like your wiring and
there's a lot of wiring.
So there's a lot of stuff that was done, and so we have all this on the outside. They might have to redo your main panel where all of your circuit breakers are connected. So that price isn't just for the Powerwall, but it's for everything else they do as well.
Now I will say though, if we could get like vehicle to grid, you could take that $36,000 for 4 Powerwalls, buy a standard range Model 3, which would basically be about the same battery equivalent, I would think. and potentially have a vehicle you could drive.
Yeah, that would be
actually
nice.
be really cool.
And there's actually been some people who have bought some total Teslas and they take the batteries out of them and they kind of make their own Powerwall. It's they have to do the old programming and or maybe they're not as advanced as the Powerwall, but it is possible and that's a cheaper way of doing it. But you have to be comfortable, working with the electricity.
Yeah. Helmuth is asking, how long can we roll over the credits for? Do you remember?
Ours for Excel, there's no limit. I know in some places I think they expire at the end of the year or maybe something like that. With Excel, they keep going. But basically, our credits we earn now will roll over to next month and they'll just continue to grow because we're not going to have a bill because we'll have so much solar in May and June and July. So they'll roll over into October. By then, the days will be shorter. We'll have some snow. So we'll still have some credits, but those will roll over. We'll still have some for November. Not sure if we'll have any left over in December, but hopefully we will.
Yeah. Liam is saying, I remember seeing you shoveling snow off your roof. We have a long, 30-foot snow rake?
Yeah, it's like 24, but it's not. We don't actually get up on the roof and shovel.
Yeah, we
have
all
a rake so we can stand down on the ground and just kind of put it up there, and it pulls the snow off. And we don't usually have to pull it all off, but if we just pull a little bit off, that will on the garage at least, the rest will slide off as long as we have a little sun out there. And even if we just uncover like 6 panels, that's enough to power the house typically. Yeah. And if we uncover a few more panels, that's enough to power a car or two, and then start charging the power walls back up.
But he's asking, is there any sort of automated system for that? I mean, we've talked about potentially having panels and maybe even solar roof in the future reverse electric flow so that they can kind of heat up slightly.
That would be nice if there was some sort of heating element that didn't use too much or that you could control it but still had some in reserve.
Exactly.
I did see several years ago somebody was trying to do kind of like a Kickstarter campaign for some sort of like robot that would go out and clean your panels, but
wouldn't you have to have one robot per array?
That's the problem.
And we have like 5 arrays.
We have 5 arrays, and so then you would need 5 robots or something. And I've seen other people try coming up with ways to put like a rope or a cloth or something where they can pull it from the top and have pulleys and stuff. So there's different ways of doing it, but right now there's no automated way that I know of. Yeah. And luckily for us though is on at least 4 of our arrays, the roof is steep enough that once the snow starts sliding off, it will just totally clear those panels off. We have another 1 or 2 arrays where the roof is at a different slope, and that snow can stay up there for a couple days, and we're not able to reach it with the snow rake.
Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, Tesla Forever. Go get some sleep, but really appreciate you hanging out. Let's see. Mark is asking, don't Powerwalls each have their own inverter?
Yeah, I believe
they do.
It's built in, and then you just have like one gateway typically.
Right. I mean, the inverters aren't cheap.
Exactly. So that's built into that should be in the price as well.
Yeah. So I'm sure that costs quite a bit. Dan is asking, have you looked into Kimball Musk's container grow rooms? We've seen them. We've seen them post about them, but we haven't looked too much into it. We have some room in the basement, and that's kind of where we're starting out. Just starting out small and see where it takes us. But if we can grow our own lettuce and everything, we also have a large garden out in the back that we haven't done in the past few years. So we actually got out. What was that, yesterday?
Yep, yesterday.
And started tilling it and getting it all prepped. We're going to go heavy on the garden this year.
Yeah, we know that it's going to be about, being in Colorado, we're still going to get snow through mid-May. Yeah. So we can't plant anything yet, but at least we got it tilled up, got everything ready. We're going to put the fence back up to keep the puppies out of it, but we are ready. We're starting the seedlings, so, we can maybe start putting stuff out there after Mother's Day or so.
Yeah. Someone said, why not use the boring flamethrower to melt the snow? Yeah, could that damage the panels?
I'm sure it would, yes.
Maybe we should do a test.
I don't know. Not on the roof.
Yeah, definitely not on the roof. I don't want to fall down or something.
Another thing you were just mentioning, his growing rooms or whatever, but we saw that LG, I believe, is coming out with something that looks kind of like a refrigerator, but basically you open it up and it's all grow lights and shelves and stuff like that, and it's a way you can do your own, growing stuff indoors.
Yeah, I mean, it looked really nice, but I just
it's not cheap though.
It's not cheap.
Several $1,000s. So if,
yeah, I mean, I think I've just invested as of now maybe a couple $100.
Yeah.
Which I mean, to be honest, still seems expensive when you look at the price of vegetables in a grocery store because they get things that are grown on such scale. It's just crazy. But at the same point, it just limits what we have to go to the grocery store.
We're definitely going to be able to produce a lot more of our own produce.
Exactly. And it's nice that we can produce it because then we know that we don't necessarily have to take something off a store shelf from someone that can't produce it.
Yep.
It just means we get to stay home that much more and just hang out. So, yeah. I'm excited to see where it goes. We'll probably do a separate video on what we've done because a lot of you guys said in the last live stream you want to see. Let's see. Somebody said we can get a pressure washer and put de-icer fluid in it.
One thing too, we've thought
Possible.
if we could do like a blower.
Oh
leaf
and attach
blower.
it to the drone.
But again, it'd be too heavy for the drone. But if we had a big pole, but that would. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Liam says, do you have to have all three, or do you have to have 3-phase power for a power wall?
No, that's like
know.
in like foreign countries, they have 3.
Oh, they do. Okay.
No, we don't.
Okay. Cool Kid says, I love watching videos. Look forward to them every Saturday when you do your live streams. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate the kind words. Lisa says that she has a tomato suggestion, big style. What?
Maybe that's a variety. I know we have 3 different varieties.
We have like Roma,
and
Baby Boomer,
and
what was the other one?
I don't remember.
Beef eater?
Beef steak, something
beef
like
steak,
that. Yeah.
beef steak. Yeah, that one's supposed to be a massive one, so we're doing that one completely outside. Heated panels are planned for Canada. Tesla panels. Elon tweeted about it.
That would be cool. I mean, we're not going to upgrade anytime soon because we've already paid for it. Already paid for ours, but that would be nice. That would be nice if there was some sort of heating element that you could retrofit onto there.
That would be really, really nice. Someone actually mentioned. I forgot where I saw that in chat. Oh yeah, Helmuth. What about heating like the rear window of a car? So like have those little like.
Yeah, exactly, because that uses hardly any. So if you could run that like a heating tape, and there is some like gutter heating tape that you can put in your gutters to prevent them from freezing and icing up. And so if you could just run a little bit of that, and again, you could put it maybe just on the bottom panels.
And see, that's all we would need is really on the bottom.
And then that would heat enough just so the snow could start sliding. And then when the sun comes up, the rest of the snow would all slide off, at least for our roof.
Yeah. Cool kids, gotta go eat dinner. See you later. Thanks for joining. Ruben is saying, have you heard about the bug plaguing all Teslas in Australia and New Zealand on the latest update? The full self-driving preview is disabled even though it's referenced in the release notes and manual.
I hadn't heard about it.
I haven't heard of that, but I'm sure they'll release a patch for that very quickly. I'm not really sure because the update staff is probably able to work from home, I would imagine. I don't know if would you consider them essential?
I'm sure they could work from home. Yeah, I mean, software development can easily be done. I mean, you might still get together, but they can have Zoom meetings or Microsoft Teams, and they can all get together and meet that way. So I'm sure they're still keeping busy, very busy with their software updates.
Yeah. Let's see. Lisa's saying that's not the name. I was just saying to have a mega good tomato suggestions.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, I was gonna say I hadn't heard about that.
Yeah, I was like,
variety.
Let's see.
It looks like.
Yeah, how's the Wise glass roof during the middle of the day? Does it get hot? Well, we've actually done a few. We did drive yesterday up to Bailey for lunch. We were both sitting in the front. I don't even think we used the AC, and it was like 75.
Yeah, I didn't notice. Yeah, it was not a problem yesterday.
Yeah. It's very heavily tinted from the factory.
And the tint we put on was ceramic for those front windows, so we didn't have a problem. Now, today when we did our drive, we had somebody else in the car. Scott was with us, and I sat in the back seat. I felt a little warm at times, so we need to do some testing to see how Tesla's tint compares to the tint that we put on. While they look similar, I'm thinking they might have different heat properties, heat blocking properties. So we need to try to see how much that's affected. But I didn't notice anything coming through the roof, but I could just feel it was a little warm on the side.
Yeah. We'll have to play around with that because that's the one thing is we will be tinting the other windows, not just the front driver and passenger side. We're just going to do a very, very low tint, as low as ceramic as we can find since it's already pretty heavily tinted. And that way it has that heat rejection properties of ceramic tint, which is what we really want. Let's see. First time I've actually had a Tesla with an all-glass roof like that, though.
Yeah, Scott's car was like that because they stopped having the panoramic roof in the Model S back in like 2017, I believe. Yeah. And so he has an all-glass roof, but yeah, I'm not used to it. But it's nice to sit back there because the view is very nice.
I need to have somebody else drive so I can enjoy the back.
Yeah. No, with that said, though, I still do appreciate my panoramic roof in my Model S.
That is, yeah. I've actually driven it. I don't know. Was it last week? A few times.
Yeah, I saw you had the sunroof open.
I love opening that thing.
Yeah.
It's just so nice to get some fresh air from above. I just really like it. Paul said, just tuning in, welcome. What are your thoughts on the Model Y long-range rear-wheel drive? Will we see it this year? I mean, they've removed everything about it from the site. So I would Okay, don't quote me on this. I'm sure somebody will cut this. Anyway, I'm thinking maybe they're going to just get all the higher margin vehicles out, and then once maybe it starts to die down a little bit on those, they'll maybe look at the rear-wheel drive.
Yeah,
I'm honestly not sure.
Hopefully they do bring it out, because I know with the Model X they had the rear-wheel drive X listed for a while, and then they removed it. And I don't believe they actually ever came out with any that were only rear-wheel drive. But hopefully with the
I think they had Model 3s, but now I think it's still off menu.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see it eventually, but it's not going to come anytime soon. I think, because I think once production starts back up, hopefully in May, they're going to be able to, they're going to have such demand, hopefully for all-wheel drive and the performance version. It's probably still going to be a while before even the standard range comes out.
Yeah. Gymnast 1000 says, any update on the new Supercharger in Lone Tree that we found?
We haven't been to the Lone Tree one in a couple weeks.
Well, it's because IKEA's closed, and we can't go get our Swedish meatballs and our vegetable cakes.
Yeah.
So
we haven't been over there in a while, and also we're typically only doing essential travel, and so we haven't been over that location recently. But we should send. I have seen some pictures. They are definitely making progress on the one in Lone Tree, which is it's actually in Centennial, just across the street from Lone Tree. Yeah. So it's right there in Centennial Plaza parking lot. So that's coming along. And we did make a drive-by today on our way to the Colorado Mills Lakewood Supercharger. We stopped by a location in Denver. Still haven't seen any progress on that in a couple weeks, besides the new transformer, which they put in a couple weeks ago. So...
Yeah, and actually in chat I see Marcus saying he believes the Lone Tree Supercharger is open for business. So there's actually the one at the Park Meadows Mall.
Yeah.
But there's one going in across the street by, what is that restaurant? That like sub place? Or that, is it a
Wahoo's
furniture store?
There's Wahoo's Fish Tacos. There's Jason's Deli.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
So that's in Centennial, not Lone Tree. So I assumed when they asked about Lone Tree, they actually meant the new one that's actually across the street in Lone Tree.
Yep. So there's actually...
I'm sorry, across the street in Centennial.
They're so close, it's kind of funny.
Yeah.
But we're not sure what's going on with the mall Supercharger, if that's going to stay there or not.
I think it's going to stay.
But they're doing one across the street, which is nice, because the mall one tends to be really packed, and having it over there in more of a, I don't want to say dead location, but a more low-key location, I think is really going to help. Especially people charging.
And it's going to have more stalls, and the parking lot is never going to be as busy over there, so it shouldn't have any icing or anything.
Yeah, maybe what they're going to do is, because that's a V3, we know, so maybe they're going to make that one the V3 and then close the Park Meadows one and upgrade it to V3.
That's what I could see happening.
And then have them both.
And right now it's amazing seeing, with everybody having to shelter in place, it's amazing to see all the superchargers around town used to be like almost always busy recently, but now it's kind of the exact opposite, and like none of them are in use.
Yeah.
Just because everybody's doing their part and staying home.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Park Meadows one's normally like always full.
Yeah.
And I think you looked at it today and there was nobody?
There was nobody there, or there was one car. And we've been charged, like Eric said, the last couple of weeks at the new Lakewood one. And there's been a couple other cars that have showed up. Today it was kind of cool. Eric took a picture because there was actually another Model Y there. It was a all-wheel drive Model Y, same color as our performance Model Y. Then there was an S there as well. Then a 3 and an X showed up as well.
Yeah.
So we had all 4 models there at once.
Let's see. John, in your last video, thanks for showing how to connect HomeLink with the cell phone so you can open the garage door. I couldn't get the app to work until I saw the video. Glad it helped.
Yeah, that's kind of
because it's not really talked about.
Yeah,
like, there's nothing really about it.
And especially for people who have multiple garage doors, you push the button and it opens up the wrong one. And I can remember I had that problem one time. It's like, how are you supposed to figure out which door to open?
Yeah.
And you'd think it would open the one. It's not the one that you come home to and you have set to auto open. You have to go in there and do the summon option, then choose which garage you want, and that's when it's controlled in the app. It's not the best interface.
It's very quirky.
Yeah,
we'll say that, but it works.
Glad we could help.
Glad it could help though. Let's see. Diego's asking, have I been able to drive a long range at all? I'm assuming you mean why. So we have the long range performance. I have not driven a long range all-wheel drive. We have an order for another performance and an all-wheel drive. Whichever one shows up first is what we'll end up keeping. Both are white on white with a tow hitch. So I don't know. Maybe it'll be an all-wheel drive. I'm kind of indifferent, to be honest, at this point, whether it's an all-wheel drive or performance. I really love the red brake calipers and a couple other things, but I can add those to an all-wheel drive. So whatever kind of shows up first is what we'll get. But I would like to drive one for sure.
And we don't really need performance. That's what we ordered just because we knew they were coming out faster, and we wanted to have one right away, and it worked out for us. But now that we have one, it's like we're not in that much of a rush. We don't really need another performance Model Y. So if
whichever one kind of shows up.
And also the all-wheel drive will have a better range just because of the slightly smaller wheels and so. And we're gonna try some other wheels out on this Model Y as well, and see how much that affects our range.
Yeah. The big thing for us is white exterior, white interior, and the tow hitch.
Yeah.
Whether it's performance, whether it's all-wheel drive, I'm kind of like meh about, but those are the must-haves that we will not flex this time. Let's see. Why would you want rear-wheel drive only? You're going to be spinning your tires a lot with that much power. So, I mean, I don't know. We've seen a lot from like Tesla Bjorn back in the day with his rear-wheel drive S. And as long as you put decent snow tires on there, you really shouldn't have too much of an issue because you have all that battery weight.
Well, also with rear-wheel drive, they should have, I think, better
traction control,
better range. But also, some people don't ever see snow. I mean, if you live in Florida or Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, very rare they would have snow, so they might not ever need all-wheel drive.
Yeah, but it's funny that the all-wheel drive is actually get better range.
At least on the
because they have those super efficient front motors.
Yeah, at least on the S. But I thought when they did it on one of the cars, it was actually we didn't see any more range on the Model 3.
I think that was when they first released them, but I think they updated it afterwards.
Like a software update.
Yeah, until they actually got some like real-world data. Mark says, so what other spots do you know about in Denver not on the map yet? Unfortunately, we can't really talk about it because we don't know 100% that's what it is.
We saw they had it blocked off. We saw they put in a new transformer, but we haven't seen any Tesla Supercharger equipment dropped off yet. So we're 95% sure, 99% sure it's going to be Tesla, but until they do drop off that equipment, we're not going to say it's a Tesla one. We also know that they are still working on Brighton. We were out there last week, and they're working on that location, but no progress there yet. We haven't heard of anything in like downtown Denver yet, so don't know if they will have.
They really need to do something there.
Be something, in a parking garage or something, but maybe some urban superchargers. But they don't really need, like V3 superchargers for people on the highway in downtown Denver.
Yeah. Somebody said they'll trade their long-range all-wheel drive for the performance. Yeah. Long-range all-wheel drive and $6,000 for the performance.
Yeah. It's like we don't care which one we get, but it's got to be,
I think
the
is the
price.
Delta still $6,000? I think it is. Now I'm curious. I'm gonna look real quick. I'll show you guys the screen so we can follow along. I think the price difference is still $6,000. Oh no, it's like $8,000. Is it really that much? Huh. Okay, cool. Well, there you have it. I was wrong. Let's see. Model 3 dude says lots of permits for Tesla. Maybe the Cybertruck to come sooner. I mean, I would not complain because that's really the ultimate car that I want.
Yeah. I don't know. Hopefully things don't slow down too much with what they're, the shutdown. But hopefully the designers and engineers and all that stuff can still be working.
Yeah, I mean, now would be a great time for someone like them to actually sit down and focus on those permits. So maybe that'd be exciting. Helmut says, when do you expect the firmware upgrade for stoplight and stop sign actual stopping? I mean, we've seen it's in beta, but I mean, depending on how well it's doing, it could take another month or two, I would think. I'm not really sure. I haven't experienced it firsthand to know how reliable it is and how well it's working.
And when it does come out, that's still only going to be for hardware 3 cars. So it's only people who have been upgraded or people who have ordered, since mid or early 2019 would get to take advantage of that. They are still upgrading older cars who have Autopilot 2.5. They did delay it slightly. It looks like they've pushed back the upgrade for Autopilot 2 cars. They're still on the agenda. That's still coming, but I think it's now scheduled for May. So we are still looking to get the S100D upgraded. It has Autopilot 2 MCU1. We're going to get both MCU and the Autopilot upgrade at the same time, and we'll be seeing that those visualizations, and hopefully we'll be seeing that stopping eventually as well.
Yeah. I was just doing some research because Paul says, fun fact, Colorado Mills is owned by Kent Stevenson. Take that, dealerships. Now you own a Supercharger.
So
I honestly didn't know that.
I didn't know that, but if that's the case, so Kent Stevenson, he's like a big car dealership. So there's Stevenson Toyota, all kinds of dealership around town. He also owns a lot, all along the highway. So that's if he owns that, then he's actually helping out with the Teslas.
I mean, looking at it, Colorado Mills is owned by Simon, but maybe he owns Simon.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll have to dig into that. Either way, that would be hilarious. I'm not going to lie. Chris says, any chance to test 18-inch wheels? So the idea was with the Model Y, whether it be a performance that we keep or an all-wheel drive, is to get the Geminis, which are 19-inch. I'm really happy with the Geminis I had on the Model 3 and really want them on the Model Y. I don't really know if I'd go 18-inch on a Y.
Yeah, I've never...
I don't know, because like Tesla doesn't offer an 18-inch, so I'm not sure how you could really register that. They only do 19s and 21s.
On the software, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd probably just stick with the Geminis, because that still gets... How many miles is that with the Gemini? Isn't it like 316?
Yeah.
That's quite a lot. Let's see. Yeah, so Paul said he's in LA, so he doesn't have to worry about snow.
Yeah.
Let's see. Diego says, do you think the long-range all-wheel drive still gives the giggles during a launch? Wonder if it's fast, even if it's not a performance. So, to be honest, all Teslas are pretty crazy fast. When we had the standard range plus Model 3,
even
it still threw you back. Yeah. I mean, it's 5 seconds compared to 3 or whatever, but it's still...
It'll still be impressive, and I wouldn't be surprised, just like with the Model 3, if they came up with a little performance boost so that it does go a little bit faster. I mean, you might have to pay for that, but it's still pretty fun, and it'll save you the money. So,
I think that's the big thing, is it'll save you some money, and anything that helped do that would be nice. Frank is asking, is Tesla only installing V3 superchargers now?
No, they're still doing a combination. So a lot of the new ones are V3. Some of them are still V2, but those might be ones that were maybe in permitting for like a long time. So they didn't want to have to redo all the paperwork, do all the permits. So maybe they went ahead but they are still installing some that are V2, but they're all still installing the urban superchargers as well.
So I am not in the early access program. None of us actually are. I'm pretty sure we've been blacklisted from it, rightfully so. We make videos, so they don't really probably want to give us that. But I get sent clips of early access stuff from people all the time. I just don't really care to post those because they're not really meant to be shared, and I don't ask for them. People just send them to me. I'm not complaining. It's kind of fun to see stuff. But yeah, we've seen a lot. Actually, people have been posting all over Twitter about the stoplight, stop sign situation. But technically, people aren't supposed to be sharing that. So that can get you actually kicked out of the early access program. Let's see. What did you notice first driving the new Model Y compared to your previous Teslas?
You know what? I actually drove yesterday for the first time. That's the first time I've drove the Y. So I drove it from our house down to Bailey, and it was nice. It felt very similar to any other Tesla I drove, but I did like, at least compared to the Model 3, how I had the higher seating position.
That is very nice, actually.
So, but I don't know, what do you think about, it's very similar to the other Teslas. So it's just basically quiet. You have to be careful, because if you haven't driven a Tesla before, when you push the accelerator, there's no huge engine noise, and you got to be careful and watch your speed, because you could be up to like 90 miles an hour within seconds if you're not watching that speedometer.
Oh yeah. What did I notice? To be honest, it felt like it still seems quieter than the Model 3 ever was. So I think that was probably the first thing that I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah. Ride quality, I think, is a little bit better.
It's still a little bit bouncy compared to like the S or the X, just because those have air suspension, or at least most people recently, they only offer the air suspension. But we also do have those 21-inch wheels, so it will be something we're going to be testing the vibrations and see if on 19 and 20-inch wheels, if that brings down the noise and the bumpiness a little bit.
Yeah. Christian is asking, how's the situation with Corona in Colorado? How are you holding on? We're good. We're just hanging out, trying to stay home as much as possible. I'm considered an essential employee, so I have to go in. Scott's considered an essential, so he has to go in. David, luckily, can work from home. I work from home sometimes, but yeah. We're just kind of hanging out. Luckily, we've been good. Hopefully, all you guys have too.
Definitely doing this social distancing thing. I haven't really seen anybody besides...
We're like 6 feet apart now.
Yeah, right now, But I mean, I haven't seen anybody really besides Eric and Scott in like the last month or something like that. So it's kind of weird not seeing other people. I mean, I see people from afar. I've seen a couple neighbors when I'm out hiking and nearby, and but again, we keep our distance. But it's nice. But I really haven't seen any people. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really mind it. I can be a people person, but sometimes it's just kind of nice to do your own thing. Vlogs and more. How's your channel name pronounced? Derek, just like Derek.
Yep.
We just add the AE because it's fun and it combines David and Eric.
Yep.
Let's see. John's asking, how do you register the tires with the software so speedometer reads correctly? So Model Y, fun fact, they changed the TPMS. We have an upcoming video all about this, but they don't use the same TPMS as S, X, or 3. Well, old S's, they use the same one. But it's all now Bluetooth. So they haven't added that to the software yet. So you actually, I guess, have to like go in and have them program it if you like
change your wheels.
Wheels and stuff like that. If you're just like changing out a tire, it should still recognize it. But if you like completely swap, yeah, you're supposed to have them do it, which is kind of a pain in the butt.
But eventually when the Y gets up to date on the software, they're going to have it so that you can change it yourself in the car. You'll just be able to go in and choose your wheel size, just like you can on the other cars.
Yep. Chris is asking, do you think we'll get a tow hitch installed on the Y? Sorry if you already answered it. We did, but it's fine. So the current one, we're not sure if they're going to retrofit. It's kind of like a big question right now. It's available to order for new cars, but it's not in the item shop to where you can buy it for an existing car. So we're not sure, but we made the other 2 white orders have a tow hitch. So that one will definitely have a tow hitch. We're still not sure what we're going to do with the Midnight Silver Metallic Y.
We did put in a request, though. We're waiting to hear back from Tesla to see if it is retrofittable. Can we add it on, for that $1,000 or whatever it's going to take? But they don't know yet, so we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully soon, but I mean,
the way it goes, though,
as of right now, everything's kind of slowed down at the factory, so it might be a while.
Exactly, and before they would even produce those retrofittable tow hitches, if it's possible, it could be months. And by then, hopefully the Y will already be produced, and we'll probably get the white Y by then.
Yeah. Mark wants to know, any idea if US will see a CCS adapter?
We're still hoping for that. It's not something
I use
every day, but the Supercharger network is always expanding. But it would be nice if you could take advantage of Electrify America and those other networks that have CCS.
Yeah, it'd be helpful just so you can charge that many more places.
Yep.
Helmut says, do you think the May 4th reopening is gonna happen?
Right, I don't know. Right now I'm hoping, but I don't know. We don't know enough. I know that here in Colorado, they're not even expecting the peak to hit till like mid-May. We did get alerts, on our cell phones earlier today where they extended it to like the 26th of April, but I'm sure it's going to go to mid-May to late May in Colorado. So I don't know if that's going to be the same there in California.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. To be honest, whatever they can do to help slow this is definitely pro. I would love to see Tesla reopen, but also lives matter. And so, yeah, whatever they do, I would respect. Hopefully sooner than later, though. Just saying. Because I'm sure a lot of people want to get back to work, too, because being furloughed, I don't imagine is very fun. Let's see. Pete wants to know, why do Teslas have 12-volt batteries? Are they lead acid? Seems like it would be simpler and more environmentally friendly just to use the main battery pack. That's actually what they were supposed... I don't want to say supposed to.
Well, they planned on doing.
That's what they had originally planned based on early released documents for Model Y, is to get rid of the... Because I think it is lead acid right now.
Yeah, it's just a regular 12-volt battery.
But you can buy like lithium replacements and stuff like that. They are expensive, but they weigh a lot less. But there was planning to simplify all the wiring in the car as well as get rid of that battery and just use the main pack. That didn't make it in, or at least hasn't yet. I'm sure they really just wanted to ramp up Model Y and just get it out there, so they let a few things go. I'm sure they're still working on it, though, because that would really help simplify their process. Yeah,
because I'm sure sometime in the future, maybe with the Plaid S and X, maybe they'll
that's a good idea.
Able to get rid of it, or or in coming years, or maybe with the Cybertruck might be able to eliminate it because they're further out on that. But eventually, they'll be able to eliminate that 12-volt battery.
Yeah. And speaking of Cybertruck, Cheyenne X22 is saying, any update? Unfortunately, we really haven't heard anything since Elon tweeted out potentially making a Cybertruck factory in central U.S. But I'm sure a lot's going on behind the scenes, still finalizing designs, getting all that kind of stuff done. Either way, I actually think, I don't know, this might trigger people, but I almost am more excited for Cybertruck than the Roadster.
Wow.
I love the Roadster, don't get me wrong, but the utility and usefulness of that Cybertruck make it more exciting because I'll be able to daily drive it.
Yeah, and also you won't be scared to drive it because with that Roadster, it's not the cheapest car. So.
Very true. But I will be crazy excited to drive the Roadster. Don't get me wrong. I can't wait to take that to a track and really tear it up. Tear up the track, not the car.
Yeah.
I should asterisk that. But yeah, super excited for both. But I'm very, very excited for the Cybertruck. We actually were at the event. We got to hang out with it and get in it, get a ride in it. What did you think about it? Because you were in the back, right?
Of the Cybertruck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. There's plenty of room back there, plenty of headroom, plenty of leg room. I was still kind of surprised by that 6th person seat that folds down.
Yeah, that was interesting.
You know, kind of covered where the armrests and stuff are, right in front of the screen. Because I thought, you know, I guess you're not going to be driving that way every day, but it's nice, I guess, to have that option for a 6th person. But yeah, I was amazed that they could fit 6 people in there.
To be honest, though, we rarely would ever have 6 people in a car. We got the Model X 6-seater, though. So the nice thing, though, is the Cybertruck will allow that flexibility should you ever need it. Again, I don't think I'd be doing road trips with it.
Yeah, it's not going to be as comfortable as the Model X. Model X 6-seater would definitely be the way to go for people, but the truck would be better if you're working on the job and stuff and you had some crew that needed to go, you know, in for lunch or someplace or go pick up some more hardware somewhere. You can do short trips, but I don't think anybody's going to really be doing long road trips on the Cybertruck.
And I really think that's what I would use it
With
for, is like taking coworkers to lunch. That's really the only time I ever have more people in my car than like 3.
Yeah.
I just don't have a lot. John's asking, is your charge port cover flush in your Model Y? Mine is not. And when pushed on the clothes hanger clips, they stick.
Okay,
I haven't noticed those issues.
I don't think.
And I played around with the coat hooks for quite a while because I still don't know why they haven't put them on S and X.
Yeah.
So
these years.
Yeah. But I haven't noticed those issues. I would just reach out to service. They've been really good about doing any touch-ups. Now, stuff that's not, like, critical to your car, I think they are trying to push those service appointments until after the whole situation dies down a little bit. But anything that is critical, they are getting people in actively for service to make sure everything is going well with your car.
Yeah, and we did take the Y in last week, and there were a few very minor things, as well as the HomeLink install. So we got that taken care of, and everything's great now.
Yeah. Pedro, so we've thought about that, but the thing is if I sit back there, it's a little tricky because I have like the computer software and everything. But we are kind of considering some other things of maybe having like an admin type here to switch camera angles and kind of go over stuff. But eventually...
Help out with chat.
Out with chat, yeah. Eventually both of those, like, I'll be in one, he'll be in the other.
Yeah, that would be nice, because then, we could be here. And
or
then we
why
still
don't
have
you pull up a chair and you can sit here now?
We could do that as well, yeah.
Yeah, because there's another chair.
I know originally, too, we only had, like, that microphone.
That's true.
And but now I have my own microphone, so I suppose I could sit there.
Yeah.
Maybe next week.
Yeah.
We'll switch it up a little bit.
Jameson's asking, speaking of the seats, what are those seats made out of? So those are actually totaled Model X 3rd row seats.
Yeah. And they're like fully functional, you know, got the seat belt
They even
here,
got the cup holder?
Cup holders. They do have the USB port. We do not have those wired, but
need to work on
one of these days we're going to at least put a battery or something on there so you can use the USB.
But that one, the one David's sitting in is not perforated.
Correct.
The other set behind me is perforated. But they're from a totaled Model X. So
two different Model X's.
Yeah. 2 different Model X's that were totaled, so it's not like we just like stole seats from someone. That would be weird. But yeah, they're actually really kind of comfy, to be honest.
So Eric built the base and then just covered it up with some automotive like fabric or carpeting. Or
yeah,
something
I just got like some black automotive, and I actually think. Sorry, I'm looking at it right now.
It turned out nice, but I wish kind of maybe he would have made a recliner. Oh, we do have an idea though for
I could do that
for an ottoman, but we.
Oh yeah, don't share the ottoman idea.
We have an idea for an ottoman, but things have been put on hold just because we're not able to go on really long road trips now. But we'll have to contact them and see if we can still. Maybe we can work out something for shipping. I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. Buggy Big says the teardown shows a screw on the rotor, which the Y wheels have been notched out, so swapping rims isn't going to be likely like the Model 3. So the Model 3, at least the performance and the ones we've had, all had that screw on the rotor. So I think it's the exact same as Model 3, to be honest.
But for the wheels, though, we know that you have to have different
Yeah.
size wheels, at least because that's why we can't use the Gemini.
Yeah, the offset's different. So like the Gemini is just a wheel cover, and under that wheel cover is different for Model 3 than Model Y because the size, the tire width is different, but also the offset is different. So you can't really just throw them on there as easily as I had wished. Let's see. Helmut's saying, wasn't the tow hitch $750 for Model X?
I think originally.
I think it was.
Yeah, so the price has gone up.
Yeah. Maybe they'll be able to bring it down with volume. I don't know. Paul says LA is now restarting on May 15th. Or supposed to be. I guess that's when the ban's lifted. Oh, John has a good question. Is tow hitch 1 inch or 2? Good question.
There's been talk about, some people were saying 1 1/4, other people were saying 2, so we don't know yet.
Hopefully it's 2, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess we'll be able to.
But again, it should be that 3,500 pound like tow weight.
Yeah. Yeezy, any update for Plaid S and X? Unfortunately, no.
Nothing.
Yeah, they've been pretty mum about that. Some people are suspecting we might hear more about that at the Battery Investor Day. But I don't know.
Which we don't know much about. I think they're still planning on it, but I don't think anybody is going to be invited to that. Or, even if you're a stockholder, I guess in the past you would have been able to go, but right now with travel pretty much restricted, I don't think they're going to have the public. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Let's see. A lot of people are very excited for that Cybertruck. And yeah, so we actually have an order in for a dual motor Cybertruck and a tri-motor Cybertruck. I really just want the tri-motor, but originally the dual motor was going to be out a year early.
Yeah.
So the plan was to get that for a year until tri-motor comes out. But hopefully they come out with tri-motor first, because then I can just get one and be done.
Yep.
That's
and that will
ideal.
have the longer range as well. So
Exactly.
That'll be nice.
That range is really what I want. That'd be really nice. So Randy, we are still doing a lot of tests with Model Y and different things. So we'll be able to report that back very soon. Let's see. Someone said that after playing with the coat hooks a little, they loosened up.
You know what? I think I noticed that too, because when we were driving home that first day, I tried one and I don't think it opened right away. But then later on, a few days later, I tried it and it was working fine. So it might just be, it's brand new and it needs to just be used a couple times.
Diego says, I saw the video of you making that supercharger. So this is actually a real supercharger.
This is a real one, yeah.
But the one in the garage is the one that I made. And yeah, it wasn't easy, but I think you could sell some for good money. So I actually had been offered like 10 grand from people to make those. The issue is how long did that take me? 4 months?
It took a while.
5 months?
And we had several setbacks just when you were playing different coatings.
So
and
many
stuff.
setbacks.
Yeah.
And it's just a
garage.
ton of work. And I'm pretty sure Tesla wouldn't like me doing that. And yeah. So I have not made any more. Maybe things will change in the future. Tesla, if you're watching this and I can make them, let me know. Drop a comment. But yeah, I don't know.
But this is an authentic one. You can see it lights up, and the inside.
Oh yeah, lights up right there.
We did a video a couple years ago when we got it, and it has all the innards of a V2 supercharger, not V3.
Yeah. On says, how do you feel about other EV automakers? Would you consider any current models or future ones like Rivian, VW? So one news thing that's not related to Tesla, kind of is. It's a competitor, if you will, is Rivian has pushed back the launch of the truck a year. So not till 2021, which coincidentally is when Cybertruck comes out. So, I guess we'll have to see what happens with that. But I'm actually a fan of Rivian. I think it's great. My big holdback on anything besides a Tesla is the charging network. If you have to use somebody else's third-party charging network, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg.
Yeah, and it's not going to be, at least currently, they're not integrated directly in your navigation in the car. Yeah. And so you're going to be changing, the other networks aren't as, they don't cover the country as far. So you're going to be switching different networks, at each stop maybe. Or even if you can't stay on Electrify America, it's going to be expensive.
Yeah. John's asking if 19-inch S rims will fit the Model Y. So that I know won't work because they have different bolt patterns. Unfortunately, it would be nice if they did, but they don't. Ari says he thinks 1 1/4-inch hitch size has a limit of under 3,500. So it may have to be 2 pounds or 2-inch.
Maybe, yeah.
So that'd be really nice.
The nice thing is if they do have that, you can use the adapter and stuff to if whatever you're plugging in doesn't need that 2-inch one.
Let's see. Guy is saying if you're awaiting a VIN for Model Y, can the tow hitch be added? Yeah, just try calling Tesla and see if you can modify your order to have it include a tow hitch.
Yeah.
It's possible they should be able to, from what I've heard.
And it's possible if you haven't lost that option yet on the Tesla website, you might be able to go ahead and just add it on.
Yeah.
But if you've already done all the financing information and provided all the registration information, you no longer have the ability to do that, so you'll have to contact Tesla. But I have heard of at least a couple people who have contacted them, and their order advisors have been able to add it for them.
Yeah. BHM Bill, do you hear noise from the heat pump? So we have.
We do.
We actually have something on that coming hopefully this week.
And it's not huge.
I'm gonna let you take over for a second.
It's not huge, but I have noticed some humming and everything. And today we had the car, sometimes in the garage or sometimes when it's in the driveway, I'll just hear a little humming. And it's not too loud, especially because when you have the frunk in there and all the insulation stuff, it kind of deadens the noise something. But if you do remove that, like when we film some videos, it definitely is louder. I have seen that some talk that Tesla will be coming out with a cover or some sort of a device which will insulate the heat pump and make it quieter. So we'll see if they're going to add that as a service bulletin. Maybe they'll come and retrofit older cars. We don't know yet. But it's not annoying, and we definitely appreciate the improved efficiency for when heating the car. So it doesn't bother us, but it's just some additional noise that we haven't noticed in other Teslas that we've owned. So let's see here. I don't know where Eric left off here. I don't know.
Oh, I'm good.
There he is. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see real quick. Andrew says, really miss your autopilot test videos. You used to do them regularly. Yes. So we've still been testing. We've just been kind of waiting for like the next big thing because we haven't noticed a ton of differences. And the ones that we have, like the cones and whatnot, we did cover. But we'll start doing those again for sure. And they're kind of fun. I actually really enjoy them.
Yeah, and one reason why we haven't shown as many lately is because Tesla Autopilot has gotten so much better. When we first got the Autopilot 2 cars, they didn't have really any autopilot functionality turned on, and so we were doing tests because they were releasing updates like every couple of weeks, and the car was just learning and doing so much better every week. And since then, though, they're pretty close, and we currently have Autopilot 2, Autopilot 2.5, and Autopilot 3 cars, and they all still behave pretty much the same. The only difference is on that Autopilot 3 car is that it does have those additional visualizations.
Yeah. Guy is saying one EV rider is claiming the design of the Model Y hatch and bumper will cause extremely high insurance rates, says it's too low and exposed. So I've actually seen that because like the bottom of the rear hatch kind of does stick out a little bit. So if something hits your bumper, it's likely to hit that too. I mean, I guess we'll have to see what insurance rates kind of jump to after about a year. I think it takes for them to really get some data on cars.
So it'll be interesting to see. I don't think Tesla's the only car that has a hatch like that. No. So it'd be interesting to see. But it might be something that they could redesign if it does turn out to be a problem. Just slightly change the bumper and the hatch.
Ari's asking, does Rivian have air suspension? I think they did.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they did. I'd have to double check.
Because they have there's some mode, I forgot what it's called, but
tank mode. Oh, sorry.
They've got some other I'm pretty sure they do.
Okay. I would imagine they do. Vlogs and more. When will the Tesla Roadster 2.0 be able to buy? Well, technically you can order it now, but I'm not sure. It's supposed to be 2020. I can only imagine what's going on in the world right now is going to throw that for a little bit of loop. But yeah, I don't know. It's a good question. Let's see. Iron Mind says, white seats and dogs or pets don't mix for my future Model Y. So, I mean, we have tan dogs. We haven't actually put them in the Y yet because we're not sure if we're going to be keeping it or if it's going to go to a relative or what's going to happen with it. But I know we've never had an issue with like white seats before.
No.
With animals. So, I mean, they clean up really easily. So, I mean, you'd probably be okay. But, Rocket Tesla. I don't know if that question really like makes a difference, to be honest.
Well, how long? But I have known Eric for since 2010, I guess now.
Yeah,
so going
it's
on
like a decade.
Years. Almost, yeah.
Yeah, been a long time. David, not that David, different David said, "What's new with your unplugged performance Model 3? Have you seen the Mountain Pass performance racing display?" I have seen that. It actually looks pretty cool, but I think it's like $4,000, which is kind of pricey for my mind. Don't read too far into it. But no news on our performance Model 3 yet. Hopefully something soon. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. On says, do you think this? Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
Think Cybertruck will get tank mode? I'm pretty sure after Rivian did that, it might have lit a little bit of fire under Tesla to see what they can do. But I think Rivian has a motor on each wheel. Is that correct? And I don't think Tesla's going to do that. I think they're just going to do 3 motors instead of 4. So tank mode might really not be possible. Well, yeah, I don't know how they could do it. They'd have to probably change quite a lot, actually. It's fun, though, but I don't really know how much I'd really use it. It would be a cool party trick.
Definitely.
Let's see. Ari says, my air suspension comment was another benefit of the Cybertruck after others. Oh, yes. So Cybertruck will have air suspension. It has a bunch of off-road modes, too, which is nice. Let's see. Do you believe that Model Y might already be using new battery tech? Apparently more kilowatts according to drag times. So the funny thing, I don't think I have that picture with me. But the funny thing is, on my key, let me just send it.
For the key cards, it shows that you had like 74 kilowatt hours.
The key card says it's a 74 kilowatt pack.
Yeah.
Or is it kilowatt hours?
Kilowatt hour.
And my key card says it's 74. He just plugged into like the CAN bus situation. I don't know how much I trust that. I'm not going to lie. Because it's just kind of reading things about it, but it could be reading them wrong. And this is what Tesla themselves said it is. So I'm more apt to believe Tesla. Just saying. Oh, are you getting a phone call?
I don't know. I thought they had the sound off. Sorry.
Guy says, speaking of the dogs, where are they? Are they out on dates tonight? No, they're just upstairs hanging out. They'll probably be down once we get close to ending. Let's see. Oh, Ari's been looking it up online, and there is a 1 1/4 inch hitch, which is class 2 up to 3,500 pounds.
Okay,
so maybe it is a 1 1/4, and that's why they limited it 3,500.
Yep.
That would make sense.
But we're not planning on towing a big trailer or something. Anyways, we might just, if we go to Home Depot and need a small trailer, but really we're just looking on having like a bike rack or a ski rack or something like that.
Exactly.
On the back.
I don't think we're really ever going to be towing 3,500. Maybe like 1,000 if we get like a little, what are those little things? Like a...
Pop-up camper or something?
No, a little like, to dig up the driveway. Like
yeah, like an excavator or something like that. Or a little...
something small though.
Yeah.
Maybe like 1,000 pounds. But the big thing, we just want it for bikes. So, yeah. Vlogs and more, how many pets do you have? Well, there's 3 dogs and many reptiles. Snakes, geckos, lizards. I have a lot of stuff. Ari said tank mode is really only effective with 4 wheels. Motors. So I don't know. I doubt they'll have it, but you never know. Maybe Tesla will make a quad motor design. That'd be interesting. Let's see. Thanks, Mike, for the thumbs up. Really appreciate it. Iron Mind, have a good night from New York. Thanks for hanging out with us. Really appreciate it. Oh, did you just let the puppies out?
I saw someone. Look.
Here's some puppies.
There you go. Oh, yeah, so exciting. They haven't
Remind them that we're in the basement.
They haven't seen us in like 90 minutes, so they're like, oh, they miss us.
Thanks, guys, for the kind words. Really appreciate it.
Okay, settle down.
They get very, very excited.
It's been 90 minutes.
They're very lovely.
Oh. Okay.
They'll come down in a few.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. How you doing? Hi. Let's see. Scott Mendoza, I have an existing Model Y rear-wheel drive order. What will Tesla do if they never make rear-wheel drive? Will they change the order to all-wheel drive and update current prices? Any precedents? So, I'm honestly not sure. Being that they did offer it and they did give people the ability to order it, it might just be a very limited time thing that they try out. But I'm more leaning towards after they... But I don't want to say buzz. After like the amount of orders kind of dies down a little bit for performance and all-wheel drive, maybe they'll bring out some rear-wheel drives.
Hopefully. In the past, though, I know like with the Model X and stuff, when they did offer it and then they took it back off, I think for most of those, they actually contacted the people and asked them to change their order. But, but hopefully, with the Model Y, it's going to have a lot higher volume. So hopefully they will offer that rear-wheel drive version.
Definitely. Let's see. Oh, the Adventure Insider has a good question. How would you rank the wind noise across the sexy lineup? I want to say probably the quietest was S, then X, then Y, then 3.
Yep, I think so. Yep.
I think X and S are quiet in terms of when you're driving because they do have that air suspension, which I think helps make everything a little bit quieter. But those also have a lot more built into them because they are more expensive and everything.
And also the newer S and X are quieter than the older ones just because they've changed things, upgraded things, added more noise cancellation. So it would be nice though if they did have some active noise cancellation, but haven't heard any word on that from Tesla yet.
That would be really nice. And we thought we might have found something, but it turns out it was just like a side impact sensor, which was kind of disappointing to find that's what it was. But yeah. King's Play, why do you have a supercharger in your office? Because you can. Yeah. No. So I built one, a supercharger shell, sorry. And that's actually up in the garage. If you look at like Instagram photos and stuff like that, that's where that is. This used to be up in the garage, but have since decided it would make a great office decoration. And that's heavy. That's like 300 something pounds. It's super heavy. There's a steel beam on this side and on the other side. And they're just like probably 1/4 inch round steel beams, and they are very heavy. So yeah, but it doesn't work because we don't have the amps coming to the house to be able to hook something like that up. So figured it looks nice down here. Gymnast. It's supposed to snow here in Colorado. Model Y in the snow video. Yeah, so you kind of read my mind.
Yeah. Thing is, so today it was like 70 something degrees in Colorado. Tomorrow we're supposed to get between 5 and 12 inches where we live. So slight change, but that's what it's like in April. I don't know though if we can do a really good Tesla Model Y video in the snow though, because we still have the performance tires on there and they're not the best in the snow.
They're not, but I'm sure we'll do something. So this isn't a real supercharger. It has all the inner parts because we took it apart. But this was actually what the store displays used to be back in the day. So this used to be a store display. Somebody found it at a trash dumpster outside of like a location. And once something's basically in the trash, anyone can grab it. So they grabbed it, threw it up on eBay. And I was just stupid enough, crazy enough, smart enough to buy it. I don't know. Your choice.
But we did a video though back when he bought it, and we opened it all up, and you can see all the innards just the same as a V2 supercharger. They just didn't actually install it at a location. But it makes sense that when they created them for those stores, they just went ahead and shipped them off and just didn't connect them. So
yeah.
But yeah, you can see all the places where you connect the wires and everything up at the top, and run the wiring down through the bottom.
Yep. KK said, so happy with the full self-driving 3 update on the Model S. No more ping pong and lane. So we're still on the list to get his Model S updated with FSD and the new MCU. I asked recently and they said there still wasn't an update, just to wait for the email that allows us to like start the service appointment, and actually their own... What was that? Like a little chart that said availability.
Yeah, it used to
everything was pushed back a month.
Yeah, because it used to say that they were doing Autopilot 2.5 upgrades to MFU 2 in early March, and that Autopilot 2 upgrades were going to be in late March. Now they've pushed it back to April. Then now I think they might have even changed it to May, unless that might just be the Autopilot 3 hardware. But typically when people are getting their MCU updated, they're going ahead and updating the Autopilot as well.
Yeah. So hopefully soon, but since the whole situation, it looks like everything's getting pushed back.
And we did hear again that at least one Autopilot 2 car did get upgraded, and he enjoys the new MCU, but it sounds like they didn't upgrade the cameras, so they're still it's kind of like grayscale with red, so it's not full color like on Autopilot 2.5 and above. But
hopefully they change that and start updating.
Yeah,
those.
It could be that's because he wasn't supposed to be upgraded. Maybe that was supposed to be a 2.5 update, and they accidentally upgraded 2.0 car. But we'll see. It'd be nice if they upgraded the cameras just so that the Sentry dash cams looked better.
Exactly.
But it looks like, for Autopilot itself, it doesn't need that extra color. It just needs to be able to see the red.
Yeah. W Wheeler 34 says, how's the sound system in Model Y? I love the sound system in Model Y.
It's great.
And I listen to music all the time. It's the premium upgrade package. Premium interior and sound package, sorry. And so that does include like 14 speakers. But I absolutely love it. I think it sounds great. It's got a sub in the back and everything. super random question from Cheyenne. I did notice, or did you notice more wind noise when you took the aero covers off on the 3? Feel like it got louder. I never...
We never really drove the aero
Yeah.
because we got them and we immediately removed the aero wheels and put on some other
I did rock them for a while. I don't really recall that, but to be honest, it would make sense because when you take those off, you're going to have more wind resistance. It would definitely make sense to me, but I can't recall. It's a good thing to possibly test, though. Let's see.
I saw Future Money Show mention that they saw the plants might open, but they changed their all-wheel drive order, so they were able to get on there and add the tow hitch to their existing order. And we mentioned that earlier, but we were not able to add that to our existing performance all-wheel drive order, which we still have open. And so we're going to contact Tesla. We've heard some people have been able to contact them. They can modify the order. So we did go ahead and order another one, just all-wheel drive, and we did order the tow hitch on that. So whichever one comes first, we're going to get either performance or all-wheel drive. It doesn't matter to us, but...
3 things that matter: white exterior, white interior, tow hitch.
Tow hitch, yeah.
Tow hitch is huge. We just want to be able to take our bikes places, and we don't want our bikes in the car in case we go car camping or anything like that, as well as if they're muddy. But tow hitch is really, 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 really what we want. I can't stress that enough. Let's see. I had a question up here. The safety rating for Model Y will be very interesting. Just don't understand why it's conducted after the vehicle is already being trusted with our lives. I have a feeling it's already been tested. They're just maybe doing the final report and everything, but they gave Tesla the approval to start selling it. Because I don't know how they could do the testing after the vehicle goes for sale. They must have already done it and just compiling everything would be my thought. Let's see. Kind of going through some questions here.
We had I saw somebody ask the question again, which one is the best car for the dollar or whatever is basically what they're asking. I think right now the Model Y is the one to beat. It's
definitely
it's got more cargo room than a Model 3. It's got almost the same range.
So yeah,
it only costs a little bit more versatile. You can fit bigger stuff in the back. It's more comfortable. It's got a few other upgrades that the Model 3 doesn't have. It's a lot cheaper than the S and X. So if I had to buy a car today and I didn't have any Tesla already, I would probably go for the Model Y. I still prefer my Model S, but we'll be seeing what the new Plaid S looks like. But if you're starting from nothing and don't have a Tesla, the Model Y, I think, in my opinion, is a good overall call.
Yeah, I'm all Model Y. I've actually driven every single car for at least a short period of time. The Model X we didn't drive that much. But Model S I love, Model X I love, Model 3 I still love. It's a very nimble car if you can not require that kind of utility that Model Y has. Model 3 is still excellent, don't get me wrong. But the utility, everything about Model Y I absolutely love. It's a great car. I'm super happy with everything they've done. I had a question up here. Jameson wants to know what our favorite show on Netflix, Hulu, or Disney Plus is.
I don't know. Well, we just
finished Silicon Valley on HBO.
HBO, yeah.
We absolutely love that. We also just watched the McMillions show series, yeah, on HBO about the whole McDonald's Monopoly scam,
which I didn't know anything about.
That was
which
so
was
interesting
weird.
to me.
And I guess basically when McDonald's ran the Monopoly prize game, basically there was an inside guy at one of McDonald's
don't give away too much
subcontractors that fixed it or basically cheated the system, and I never knew anything about that. So it was pretty interesting 6-hour series. So now we're trying to find the next series we're going to watch. I don't know. We still haven't seen The Mandalorian, so we're probably going to be watching that next.
Oh, and we also need Tiger something
King.
Tiger King. That's the one. We need to watch that. A lot of people are telling me we need to watch it, so we'll watch that too. So I see some people saying you can put the bikes on a roof rack on Model Y. You can, but the roof is already high. I just don't trust myself to be putting a bike up and down on that. It scares the crap out of me with that all glass roof.
Yeah.
Having something that above you going 70 down the road scares the crap out of me.
I wouldn't mind using the roof rack for carrying skis or something.
Oh, completely agree.
Or luggage. But when you have a bike and you put it up there with the fork, and if you just one slip and lifting it up above your head, especially when you have a mountain bike that's an e-bike that's not the lightest thing, trying to lift that up there, one slip, it's gonna either chip or totally crack your roof, and that's not gonna be fun.
That makes me terrified. So I'm not a big fan of putting it on the roof, but it is an option for anyone who wishes to. Let's see, Simon, what's the Plaid S rumored to be? So, I mean, they've been rumored to have a bigger battery, maybe 120 kilowatt hour battery, a interior refresh, exterior refresh, minor exterior refresh though, just like maybe some new front fenders. We saw the wide body at the Nürburgring. I don't know if that's going to be Plaid because that seems like pretty full send, but maybe that'll be an option on top of Plaid. What would you like to see in a Plaid Model S? More range, maybe?
I still hope they have a second screen or heads-up display or something like that. Just I can drive. I drove the Model Y. It's just fine. But I just miss having that screen. You can live without it, but I just like having the customization where you can show a different navigation, or you can see what song right there instead of having to look over there.
Yeah.
On the main screen.
And I really think, in my eyes, what Tesla should do is maybe do a Model 3 screen, but the Model 3 is what, 15-inch?
Yes.
So if they did like a 17-inch, something to give the S and X a little bit more premium feel.
Yep.
A heads-up display is what I think they should do, so they can drop the dashboard a little bit. I think that's really great. So I'm pro heads-up display.
Yeah.
I would really love the AC vent.
The same as the S and the Y.
Exactly. Because I love it in the 3 and the Y. I would love to see something like that carried over to S and X. But I kind of understand they don't want to make S and X look like Model 3 or Y, because then even more so, why would anyone buy them?
Yeah. Something else maybe we touched on earlier, maybe active noise cancellation.
Oh, definitely.
I mean, they're still not that loud, but if they just put a couple microphones and tied them into the sound system, they could make the cars, so there's virtually no road noise.
Yeah, that's a huge one, I think. I always forget that, but that would be massive.
Maybe they could even upgrade the seats, something like that.
Maybe massage seats.
Yeah, I still like the seats as they are, but yeah, if they added a few more features, that'd be great. Maybe ventilated seats again.
That don't suck. No pun intended. I don't know. There's a lot of things I think they could do with the whole Plaid, but I don't know. What do you guys want to see with Plaid? That'd be a good one. Let's see. Sorry, kind of catching up on some things. I'm seeing some Grey's Anatomy. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's
been around for ages, and that's just on regular network TV. But yeah, you could watch it on Hulu or something. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see that. Let's see. Augmented heads-up display. That would be cool.
I actually, when like the X was coming out, or maybe it was the 3 was coming out, I thought, oh yeah, they could do that, but it didn't happen. That would be nice though. I would like to see some cars have like night vision where you can see it'll highlight something on the windshield, like if there's an animal or something. But I don't know. I don't see them coming out with that anytime soon, especially if they're getting more into autopilot, that you're not going to be needing to drive it as much. So I don't think they're going to do anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, what if Tesla did like a massive screen kind of in the center console all the way to like the right side passenger?
Kind of like was it Byton or something?
Yeah, I think like Byton had that. But what if they do it just like in the middle to the far right side? That could be interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of different things I think they should do. David's asking, how's the new update where you can view Sentry mode footage? I wish I could tell you.
Yeah, we don't have that yet.
We don't have that yet, because actually the only car... Well, I guess the only 2 cars that can view Sentry mode are the Model 3, which is out of the country, and the Model Y, which nobody has that for Model Y.
They don't have it. The Model Y is still on an older version of firmware, so they don't have that Sentry Cam viewer yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be coming in the coming weeks.
Let's see. Ben is saying, question, why do you guys make me buy the Model X and S and 3 and Y and Roadster? Because then you can spell sexier.
Yeah.
They're all great cars. I absolutely love each one. They all have like their own, I don't want to say niche market, but they all have their own use cases, to be honest. So it's really a lot of what works best for you. We've been really happy being a different model Tesla household, because then we can do different things for different like excursions and
it's
stuff like that.
interesting though, because at one time we had 3 Model S's, and it was like, wow, why we have 3 of the same car, and but, you know, it worked for us. But then as other models started coming out, we tried out the X, we tried out the 3, and yeah, we can see that each one of them has their own benefits. And you know, if you want like the best range, or you want the most cargo, or the most room for people, it just varies.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so there's some things we love the Model S for because it's got a lot more room. There's something. Oh, hi, Kit. He's not entertained. He's leaving. But like they all kind of have like their own use cases for us, which I think is great. Blue Tea actually does have a valid point that I kind of agree with. Ventilated seats worry me because I'm clumsy and will probably spill something. Yeah. And that's going to be probably a pain in the butt to clean. I certainly hear you on that. Things happen, especially those of you with kids. I've seen many of my friends post kids spill stuff all over their car.
I know also with some of the older ventilated seats, there was a problem where they would tear because of all the perforations and stuff like that, and the backing wasn't strong enough, and so some people did have problems with the earlier ventilated seats.
Yep. Genesis is asking us if we could talk about the movement in Tesla stock and where we envision it to be by the end of the year. I mean, it's been a wild ride the past 4 months, maybe 5 months. It's done really well. It's done really poorly after the whole situation happened around the world. But again, the entire stock market felt that. It's been doing really well recently. I definitely don't, there's not investment advice. I need to just clarify that with everybody so no one comes after me. But I mean, I can definitely see it going really high up there once they start manufacturing Model Y in China. Yeah. And once this whole situation kind of flattens out and dies out a little bit, and they can really start pumping these out, and we're seeing Giga Berlin, as soon as they can start making cars there, it's just going to really help optimize the flow of products. So I can see it going up quite a bit. And I think like ARK Invest still has like over the next 5 years, like a $10,000 price target, which is nutty to me now, but it would be great to see that. Let's see. Blue Tea says, I want them to change the wood option for the cream seats. I'm not a huge fan of the cream seats to begin with. But yeah, I agree. I'm not a huge fan of that wood either. What do you think?
It was nicer back in the day when in Tesla you could customize that interior a lot more, and before they standardize it. Nice thing is that there's some wraps out there you can do if you don't like that, you can cover up the wood. But
yeah. I mean, I don't even really care for the wood in the Model 3 and Y.
Also, one thing you can do, which is not as easy, but kind of like we did with these seats, you can find like a totaled Tesla, and you can get the what's it called? That when we did it with the Model X, we actually replaced.
Oh, we replaced the trim pieces. Yeah.
The trim pieces, and it came with like the standard black, and we
the figured ash. I think
figured ash, and we replaced it with carbon fiber, and we just bought all the pieces and got them all installed. We got it, and it looked great. So you can totally customize it, and you can do the same thing with the wood trim and any car, but that's going to cost you some more money versus just using a wrap, I guess.
But I will say, it is kind of a pain in the butt to have to do that yourself. Yeah, it would be nice if you could just buy it that way.
That way, yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of people would spend good money to get it the way they want it.
That's why it's nice when they did offer that.
Exactly.
But, trying to speed up production and make things more efficient, they got rid of some of that choice. But it used to be a lot better back in 2016, 2017.
Yeah, definitely agree.
And customizations that you could do.
Yeah. Future Money Show, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. You don't need to, but I really appreciate it. Said, thanks for acknowledging my comment. You bet. Not a problem. But thank you for the $5. Let's see. Mike says, brainstorming. Aftermarket air suspension for 3 and Y. It's actually already a thing. And you can, I believe, already buy it from Universal Air, maybe. I just haven't gone air suspension on the Model 3 because it was a track car. And on the track, air suspension, probably not the greatest. No, definitely not the greatest. Because when you're really flying around those and you're going back and forth, that's a lot of weight hitting those. It makes me nervous. I've seen some bags pop. I just didn't want to deal with it. Maybe on the Model Y, because that's not going to be a track car. Maybe we could look into something like that. Maybe I'll have to hit up some aftermarket air suspension companies and see what we can do. But yeah, it is definitely a possibility. Some people have been really clever too, is you get air tanks when you have air suspension, and they put them in the frunk and wrap them with the Duracell battery type logo and everything. I think that's hilarious. that makes me laugh. Jameson's asking, do we ever think Tesla will completely change interior and exterior of S and X? I think so, because as iconic as the exterior of S is, the main gist of it, besides the front bumper, hasn't changed since what, 2012?
It's pretty much the same since 2012.
It looks amazing,
yeah.
don't get me wrong, but it's aged. I definitely think they need something new and exciting, and it doesn't have to be huge. It can just be replacement front fenders with that air thing in there. It doesn't have to be massive. Interior, I definitely think they need to do something, again, just to help refresh it. Because the interior actually really hasn't changed since 2012, has it? Oh, they got rid of the no center console. They added that.
And they've changed the seats a couple times.
That's true.
You know, they cut different versions. They had the executive seats in the back. So there's been all kinds of updates. But really, it's actually not a lot has changed on the interior in the last couple of years.
No, not really. And
since the 3 came out. Yeah.
Yeah, I really think they could benefit a lot from just giving it like a refresh, as we like to call it. They don't need to totally do everything.
Yeah, like the last big change was when they added the cream seats, and then they also had the graphite trim instead of the chrome trim, and a couple of the other dash options. But yeah, they haven't really changed a lot on the interior recently.
Yeah. So the camera view moving back and forth is actually manual right now. I'm looking at doing it voice, but I'll let you in a little secret. There's a little Stream Deck. I actually use it for like gaming and everything to do like views and stuff like that. But right now it's all manual. That's why it would be nice if we could have somebody here kind of manning everything that can do it back and forth. And then like I can throw the screen on. I can do like picture in picture. So we're down here at the corner. Yeah. I've had some fun with this, but right now it's all manual. Let's see. SciTech said, I hope they're using this time to update the paint shop. I think they're kind of doing everything in the line that they can. Have you heard any specifics on what they're doing? I haven't.
No. I think I heard optimizing Model Y production, but you know they were just getting ramped up on that anyway. So of course anything they do is going to make it better, I'm sure.
Yeah. Gymnast says, would you guys ever consider a Tesla meetup after quarantine is over? So we were actually planning on doing something with the Model Y, like a road trip and all that. And everything has kind of been just put on hold for now. But as soon as quarantine is over, give it a little time, make sure everybody is safe and everything. Yeah. I definitely think we're going to be doing a lot more meetups and everything like that.
And we've always been really active in the Denver Tesla Club, going to all kinds of meetups they've had. We've gone to like Sound of Silence up in South Dakota, and Eric's gone to all kinds of like Tesla. We've done a lot in California. Tesla Corsa and stuff like that. Yeah. So we've seen a lot of people around the country. It's cool. I could be driving. I've met people all across the country. They come up and say hi to us. So yeah, if you ever see us at a Supercharger or something, say hi. But I guess now keep still, the social distance. But I mean, I've seen people from California to like middle of Nebraska. People come up and say hi. So definitely nice to say to meet you. Even and especially when we go to the Tesla events, it's nice to meet fans.
Yeah. Oh, it's a blast to meet all you guys, and really appreciate you. If like you see the car, definitely like say hey. It's great meeting all you. I really appreciate it. And we still have like a bunch of those like Hot Wheels and everything that we carry around. But again, the whole social distancing makes it a little hard to give people that. But yeah, hopefully it ends quickly and safely so that we can get back to stuff like that. Eric's wondering where the dogs are. It sounds like they're actually eating right now.
Yeah, I can hear it.
I think I heard the food prep bowl. Yeah. Scott's up there feeding them. They'll probably be down afterwards again. Let's see. Sorry, trying to work through some of these. David wants to know what video games we play. So we actually, I don't know if you noticed, there's difference over here.
Got a new desk.
We got rid of like a rack. I can't really move. Well, actually, I can do this real quick.
Or rotate my camera, yeah.
Oh, no. Well, I guess you can't really see behind there too much. But we got rid of the rack and everything, and now there's a desk here, and there's a separate chair. So we're going to start up some warfare going on, probably on a Twitch channel. I actually already have a Twitch channel. And yeah, I play Fortnite, Twitch. Sorry, I don't really stream Twitch that much, but we're going to start. But I play Fortnite. COD is awesome. And I think you're more like COD than Fortnite.
Yes, I'm not a big Fortnite player.
I like Fortnite, but the whole building aspect of it always ends up getting me killed. So, yeah.
I was a big Battlefield 2 player back in the day.
So
a few years ago on that, though.
Yeah. We're definitely going to be doing some gaming, especially the way everything's going. We have a little bit more time. Let's see. Jameson, yeah, we met at an event, I believe, right? I'm pretty sure we did. Pretty sure. BW says you missed Fully Charged Live. Yeah, I was pretty busy, but it just, didn't work out. Also wasn't invited. Hashtag not invited. Let's see. Diego is talking about the Wi-Fi garage door opener, which could potentially be why they aren't selling HomeLink anymore. Yeah, I'm really curious to see that because we do have the Wi-Fi garage door opener, so that would be nice.
The only thing with that...
Oh, you made cookies. Scott made cookies.
The only thing with the Wi-Fi garage door opener, though, is that I think more people have old garage doors. Well, thank you, Scott. Wow, these are some
I don't want to eat cookies on stream.
Yeah, but we check them out, though. We just got we'll check them out.
We just got a cookie delivery on the David cam. Yeah, cookie delivery.
I think these are the new...
Here, hold them right here.
DoubleTree... like somebody got the DoubleTree released their cookie recipe.
Yeah. And, Jesus!
We almost lost them. But we were looking forward to those cookies. Those are some of the best cookies I've seen.
I almost just threw those all over the computer.
But with the Wi-Fi remote, it's like they said that they're going to try to do that. But I think more people still have old garage doors that use HomeLink that could use it now. And I know that Tesla does have to pay like a licensing fee for each transmitter, so that's why they're not including it by default. But it would be nice, kind of like with the tow hitch, if you could indicate when you buy the car that you want the HomeLink, and that way it's just there for when you go pick up the car, it's already installed. But even if it's an additional charge. But we do have Wi-Fi functionality on our garage doors opener, but it still goes through HomeLink currently. So if Tesla did add that as a software option, we could still control our doors that way. Only complaint I have about that is that when we do use the Wi-Fi app to close the garage door, it beeps and plays an alarm for 10 seconds before.
Yeah, that can be kind of annoying.
And I can't imagine having our neighbors have to put up with that if we close it via Wi-Fi. Now, if there's a way you could close it via Wi-Fi and not have the alarm, then that would be great.
Yeah. People are asking, how's Scott doing? He's doing good. Just made cookies, which I'm super thrilled about because these things are huge. This is one cookie. It's like the size, like a couple cookies size of my face. So I guess this is what I'm eating for dinner.
So he has he still has his red Model S 75D. He's trying to decide if he's going to, he never did purchase full self-driving on that. So it's something he's trying to decide if he wants. And he also hasn't decided yet if he's going to upgrade to MCU 2 because his car is one of them that had Autopilot 2.5, but it still has MCU 2. So that was for a period from like August of 2017 until about March of 2018 that they had that configuration. So here's Brecken just showed up, and
Dogs just showed up.
Kit is back as well. Hey. So yeah, that means that if they haven't had dinner yet, that means it's getting close to dinner.
He's
time.
licking his chops. You had your dinner, didn't you?
Yeah.
Or you had cookies, hopefully not.
Yeah.
Do you have your dinner? Yeah? He's a good dog. Let's see. I saw a question here. Whose car is getting kicked out when the Model 3 comes home? Well, lucky for us.
The Model
3. The garage fits 4 cars, and we only have 3 in there right now. We have 2 Model S's and a Y, so the 3 will just go in that other spot. But I guess it depends, too, if we have 2 Model Ys then, too. I don't know yet.
Yep.
We'll need to figure that out.
Or if the Roadster's out. We don't know, basically. Hopefully the 3's back before the Roadster, so we'll say that.
God, I hope so.
It's been a while since we've seen it.
Is it saying, can someday you make a pet video? I mean, I'm sure we can. I don't know how much people will enjoy it.
Yeah, if you check out like on Instagram and stuff, though, we have pictures. And
if you look on like
that.
Instagram and stuff like that, I post a lot more of like, kind of like the daily life. I do a lot of stories sometimes, so I need to get back up on that again. But yeah, Thane is asking about Battery Day. They pushed that to what, May?
I believe so,
April 26th, maybe, or I've heard a couple different things, but I think it's like May.
Yeah. Oh, I see. I'm jumping ahead here, but I see Mark said he gets it Breckenridge. So that's exactly correct. So that's Breckenridge. Brecken is a ridgeback. We had another dog who was Dakota, and we live close to a mountain range called Dakota Ridge, and she was our first ridgeback. Brecken was the second one. We also have the other 2 dogs, the puppies who are siblings. One is Layden Ridge, which is another mountain kind of up between Boulder and Golden. It's Layden Ridge. And then there's the town of Kittredge, which is close to Denver as well. So that's where our dogs got their name. They're all like ridges.
Ridges, yep. Future Money Show. Has anyone heard about all-wheel drive white interior deliveries? I think the only white interior deliveries I've seen were performance cars. I don't think I've seen any all-wheel drive whites.
Yeah, I was keeping track of that. But
there's not very many white deliveries in general, though.
Yeah.
So not sure what's up with that, but hopefully they start pumping those out. Tell Scott I said hi. We will type him a message real quick. Let's see. On is asking, is the Tesla smart home HVAC still going to be a thing? If so, are you guys going to get it? We'll definitely look into it, but we don't have central heat and AC.
I never heard about that.
Yeah, Elon talked about it a little bit, but since we don't have central heat and AC, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. If we could still use part of it with maybe like a heat pump or something, we'll definitely look into it. Excited to hear more about that, actually. Jameson's asking, what time is it? It is currently 7:55 p.m.
Oh, wow.
We have now been live for an hour and 55 minutes. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Let's see, get through some more questions. Diego's asking if we have toured the Fremont factory. If so, is it worth the trip?
Oh, definitely.
Definitely worth the trip. How many times have we done it?
I've done
2 or 3?
At least done it twice, yeah.
So
and we also did the Gigafactory too.
Oh yeah, we also did Gigafactory. It's amazing. Definitely go if you haven't already. Yeah.
The cool thing with that tour is that it totally changed. We did it once in like 2016, and we did it again, I think, in 2017, and it was like totally different. It's amazing how they move things around and how many new robots they've added.
It changes like every time.
And so that's been a couple of years since we've been there, so I'm sure that there's a bunch more changing.
Yeah. The Adventure Insider is asking, which Model S cars do you have currently? Well, we have David's Model S.
So S100D, we have S75D, we have the all-wheel drive Model 3. And
it's a Performance Model 3.
Performance Model 3. And then we have the Performance Model Y that just picked up like 3 weeks ago, I guess.
Yep. Eric is asking what breed of dogs they are. They are Rhodesian Ridgebacks, as David was talking about. That's kind of how they all got their name. Helmuth, what are your thoughts on robo-taxi timing? Do you think it will be anytime soon? Unfortunately. Given the whole current situation, I still think it's going to be pushed out, especially we haven't even seen like full self-driving in the
any of the
cars really. So I think it's going to be months after we see that pushed out, to be honest.
One thing that would be cool though is if they don't have the full self-driving version, if they're going to do something like Uber or Lyft, even if you still have a driver, it'd be nice if they got that started because they're going to need that. If in a rideshare service just with Teslas, I think people would like that. And a lot of owners would probably do that, even if their car can't drive itself.
We Back Tesla is asking, do Tesla owners get free or discounted tours? Tesla owners get free tours.
And you have to be a Tesla.
You have to be a Tesla owner though to get a tour, and it is free. I think when you email them, you have to give them like your VIN or something like that. Maybe I think you actually have to. I don't remember. But you have to like prove you're a Tesla owner.
You either have to be an owner or you have to be on some official tour like with the Chamber of Commerce or something like that. So there are some people who don't own Teslas that get to go on the tour. But for the most part, you have to be a Tesla owner.
Yep. Real quick, Terry Ding asks, does Model Y have HomeLink? So it doesn't.
Not built in.
But it used to be on the Tesla shop, but now it's not. So I'm not entirely sure what the whole thing is with that and why it's not there anymore. But you used to be able to order it and have them install it, much like Model 3 now, and it is at a cost of $300. Kind of sucks, not gonna lie. Guys asking silly question, is Fremont in the Bay Area? I'd like to tour the Fremont factory, visited San Francisco, but didn't know of the Fremont tours then.
Yeah, it's just over there.
It's not far at all.
East of the Bay Area,
Yeah.
Or east side of the Bay Area.
Diego says, if I take the fiance and she doesn't own a Tesla, would she still be able to get in? Yeah. So a Tesla owner can I think bring 4 people?
I don't know.
You might have to clarify, but you can definitely get like a loved one, at least one person.
Yeah. So we brought like my mom has been on the tour as well. So yeah, it's no problem.
Yeah. It's a great tour though. Definitely. If you haven't done it yet, I highly recommend it. Even if you have done it and it's been like a year or two, so much changes very quickly. Definitely go check it out. I don't think they're doing it now given the current situation, but once it starts opening back up, highly suggest doing that. But yeah, I guess we'll kind of end it there. If you have any other questions that we didn't answer, once this live video renders and processes in YouTube, definitely leave a comment and we will try to answer it. Oh, the supercharger light is off. Sad. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. Hopefully you and your loved ones are doing well in this time. Definitely stay safe out there. But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. Again, though, huge thank you to our channel sponsor, Abstract Ocean. If you are looking to accessorize your Model S, X, 3, and now Model Y, definitely check them out. They have so many cool accessories, and using code Tesla Inventory will get you 15% off your first purchase. But yeah, we have a lot of cool stuff going into the Y from them, and just a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of Y mods, but we have some special stuff going on with Model Y. So definitely hit that subscribe button and thumbs up if you haven't already. But I guess that'll end it for today's live stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We have now been live for exactly 2 hours. It's been a blast. Yeah, I guess that's kind of it. Definitely subscribe if you haven't. Brecken's now here to say bye. And we got Layden back here saying bye. They want us to go upstairs, maybe watch a movie or something.
They need some attention too.
But definitely, yeah, thumbs up the video if you haven't already. Subscribe, and we will see you all. We have Video Monday, and we'll be doing.
Wait, we forgot one thing.
Oh, what did we forget?
Your video, your...
Oh, so if you haven't seen, I did... Oh, thank you. I can't believe I forgot that. I did a quick little...
Maybe we should do a live performance of it right before you wrap things up.
Should we?
Do it right now and then post it.
Okay.
Yeah, post it.
We'll do it real quick.
Basically, we
Bear
did
with
this
me
quick
for a
video. Eric has like tons of different Tesla merch, and we just did a quick video earlier this afternoon where he
Good
tried
surprise
on,
for those of you that hang out around till the end.
Yeah, so we tried on a bunch of them and put it up on Twitter, but we haven't put it on YouTube yet. So we'll put that out here.
I'm trying to find it real quick. Media.
And it's your own tweet, huh?
Hold on. I'm trying to look.
Basically, he just tried out all of his, almost all of his, well, maybe not all of, he's got a bunch of Tesla merch. So.
Oh, Twitter took it down.
Why is that? Okay, well, we'll have to check this out.
Why did Twitter take the video down?
Maybe they didn't like your music. I don't know.
Okay, well...
Should have been copyright-free music. So
it was copyright-free music.
Oh, well. We'll put it up on YouTube here in the next... we'll try to get it up on YouTube here if it's not there already.
Complete crap.
We're surprised.
What? Okay, well, thanks, Twitter, for nothing. It's copyright-free music. Why are you taking my crap down? Is it on Instagram still? Sorry. Delay.
Checking here.
Well, that's upsetting.
I'm refreshing. I believe it's still on Instagram.
Is it?
So just go to Instagram. It's not the widescreen version, but yeah, it is still there.
Well, that's crap. Why did you do that, Twitter? At least send me a message that you deleted it. Huh.
Well,
okay. Well,
just
whatever.
Get it up on Instagram.
Let me find it on Instagram real quick. That's crappy. I'm sorry, guys.
It was just a fun little video we did this afternoon. We were gonna debut it here live during this, and
apparently my password is incorrect on here.
Okay.
I don't know my password. Great.
Well. Awkward.
This sucks. Why did oh, got it.
There you go. Okay.
Update. I'm still curious though why it was removed.
Okay. Then.
Okay, let me do audio real quick. I need to turn. You gotta have the music because.
Yeah. It adds to it.
It does add to it. Let me do this real quick. We're going to go full screen. And now I need to do audio. Sorry, there's a lot more to this than should be. I think we should be able to hear. Anyway, I'm going to post this to YouTube right after this video, so make sure you go like it. But anyway. Hopefully you can hear it.
Can you make it bigger?
No, that's as big as it'll go on Instagram. But we just made a fun video. And so definitely go check it out. It'll be posted to YouTube right after this live stream. It's just a fun one. Just different merch.
Basically, we got the new sweats or joggers that just came out. And that was what started it. And somebody said, hey, you guys should make a little fashion show of all the merch that you've purchased. And so we didn't quite do a fashion show. But
they can't hear it.
Oh, no. Well.
Oh, it's because it's on my headphones here.
Oops.
Hopefully you can hear it now. Anyway, there's some cool audio. My favorite's the end. Because I love the bike outfit.
Yeah, which was limited. They didn't offer it very long. Yeah.
See? But It was just a fun video. I don't know why Twitter took it down. Okay, now I got beef with Twitter. Okay, so then it just repeats. I'm going to talk to some Twitter people and figure out what the heck is going on over there because that's upsetting.
Yep.
Dang you, Twitter. Okay, but it's on Instagram. It'll be on YouTube. It's copyright-free music, so I don't know what's going on. Maybe somebody complained because they saw my booty and pants. I don't know what the deal is. Anyway, stay safe, everybody. Definitely go watch it on YouTube. It'll be posted here in just a few minutes. Thank you, though, so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully, we are able to talk to you guys a little bit and kind of take your mind off of what's going on in the world, because that's kind of what we are hoping for. But yeah, again, huge thumbs up. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.